We gotta double back to that. Oh my goodness. At the right time. My guy dropped that at the right time. Oh my goodness. Am I live? I don't see my live. There you go. Yeah. Good morning. Stand on the media. We're in the building. Woo! I feel a lot better today, man. Yeah, man. What's crazy is I had to go back to the dentist Friday. I had an infection in my gums. Yeah, so I had to cut me open, clean it out. What up, D-Twins, my guy? What up? Yeah, they had to cut the gums open, clean them out. Had an infection in there, man. I knew the dentist, man, messed up the last time. When he initially did the work, man, I knew he had messed up, bro. I knew it. And I was so hot. I wanted to sock that dentist in his mouth before I got to him because he was talking reckless. But he made it right. Trying to pass the buck on me, put the blame on me. I said, nigga, I ain't never seen that. I ain't never been involved with a more unprofessional dentist office in my fucking life. Let me stop cussing so I can keep my monetization, bro. Yo, yeah, I feel better than I have since I had it done. I'm still sore where he had to cut me open and shit and clean it out, but I sound a lot better, right? Yeah, I sound a lot better though, right? Not too much Daffy Duckish, right? Yeah, sucker and succotashish, right? Yeah. I can do my Charles White now. Yeah. You know how the feds is. The feds like to collect information. You know how the feds do. They like to collect information. We're gonna let this run CS2 back. Let's go. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left, y'all, without a dope beat. Step 2. Oh, and look. The content that I'm about to review today, he has dropped a video right now responding to Reggie Wright's content from yesterday. Oh, this is good. Ooh. So I'm not going to throw an audible because we got to know why we're going there. Because what Reggie Wright said yesterday, that won't give these people a clear picture of what is going on. And Reggie Wright responds yesterday, like I know I heard Deuce and them say that in that response, we're gonna let it run back, see it's too busy. But that some of that response was to them because they had an interview with Suge Knight, right? Because I know he did say something about he didn't have to pay for it, it was free and all that. So that's probably true too. But what I know that response to be towards Discretion TV for this interview that we about to listen to right now. My God. Yeah. Salute to Discretion TV, by the way, boy. You cooking, my guy. You are cooking over there. Yeah, man. Salute. And not texting. I'm still trying. I'm not going these platforms. It's gonna force what? Man, you was a rat. I heard you hit your homeboy, but he ain't hitting you back because you a rat. Matter of fact, you know what, man? We gonna stop playing with him. Over here, stand on the media, man. I've been playing with him, man, because I've been out of commission, man. But I ain't playing with him no more. Yeah, watch me. Watch me. Man, I just had to chill, man. I had to get it right, man. Where is that, man? Yeah, we gonna really hit him. Let's see. Yeah, man. We gonna really hit him now, man. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Why I do that? No, not now. We don't want to do that. Yeah, man. Welcome to Stand on the Media, by the way, man. What's up, man? Salute, salute, salute to everybody. Salute to my guy, D Twin. Salute to everybody that comes to this live today and watches this video today. I got a toothpick in my mouth right now. Sorry, y'all. But salute to everybody that's gonna pull up and watch this live, man. Yo, Big Sherm in the building. What up, my guy? Man, I got a good one. If you've been following this whole Tupac, Biggie, we still ain't found the killers. We thought it was this person, but it might be that person. Saga, yeah, it's getting good because the truth is starting to really come out. Oh yeah, the truth is starting to come out. Suge is really coming out to talk. He's out here telling it. He's waking up some things. All type of goodness is coming. Snoop Dogg is being mentioned. His role in it, allegedly, as far as I know it is, he had the walkie-talkie. And them things is only given out on certain situations. Like, and Suge Knight is the one who signs off on that. And if he didn't sign off on that, then he's looking like, well, what you got the walkie-talkie for? So I'm gonna throw a little audible though. We're gonna throw an audible. We're gonna wake this up this way, right? We're gonna wake it up like this. Let me see. Why are we there? Okay, I know why. Yeah. Here we go. So we're gonna wake it up like this. So Suge Knight has been waking up that Snoop Dogg maybe allegedly had something to do. I've been on the low the last couple of days, but I'm ready. Oh yes, hey, me too, my guy. Me too. I had to go back to the dentist Friday. They had to cut my gums open because I had an infection. And wait a minute. Okay. My bank statement just hit me. Yeah, man. So I had an infection in my gums, and they had to cut them back open and clean them all out, man. The dentist, man, tried to pass the buck on me at first, and he had to clear it up, man. I wanted to punch him in his mouth so bad, bro. Like he's already like 45 minutes away from where we live at, right? Because we stay in a small town, but he also works in Seattle and other places, right? And that's further, 2-3 hours away. So when I'm telling him I need to come in, it's an emergency. He like, oh, well, you can just drive out here. Like, we don't work and we don't have nothing to do in our life. Like, nigga, do you know that's a 6-hour drive there and back? When I signed up with you, to be at the office that you are assigned to, not when you on at other facilities, especially other facilities that are like 3 hours away. He didn't even know like where we stayed at, how far that was from the place, until one of the people told him, and then he was like, oh shit, like, oh, now I get it. Yeah, sir. Yeah, I'm trying to get this done like yesterday. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not driving no 3.5 hours. Then 3.5 hours back in traffic. We ain't doing it. But anyway, y'all ain't here for that. I'm just saying that I had to get that done. I feel a lot better though. I knew that was really what the problem was, man. And I'm already feeling good, man. So I get it. I had to fall back like you had to fall back. We all got to fall back sometime. But now it's time to get the motherfucking work. So look, man, we're going to wake it up like this. Like I said, so Snoop Dogg been catching some bullets, from Suge personally. Suge, said, man, you may have allegedly, y'all, you may have had your hand involved in what happened with the Tupac in the Tupac murder. You may have had your hands in it. What was you doing with that walkie-talkie, sir? Yeah. And then on top of that, Suge Knight finds out that his attorney may allegedly been also involved in the assassination of Tupac. Oh my God. And then Snoop Dogg said, I had enough of this shit. So this is Snoop Dogg's response to that. Then we're going to get right to the content. This is what they think about it. I just woke my rich ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up.
Committed fraud on the title and sold it. Whole time, like you over here sucking Donald's dick. Shut the fuck up. Ran this way.
I said, fuck monetization.
I was trying to set big up. I don't know. I might get dragged in the mud. I don't know what information Suge Knight's getting in jail. He's doing his thing with that. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Shit is exaggerated.
Let's go.
Fucking right.
I just woke my rich ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Hey. This is to all the haters out there that always got something to say.
I just woke my rich ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, bitch ass up, bitch.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up.
Use up, bitch.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up.
Use
I
up,
can see why you're mad. I bought everything you own. Now you in PC snitching on the phone. It's a time and a place.
And I really ain't got no time to
Waste, but I can slap the taste
out your motherfucking mouth.
Pull up on your nigga,
Make you wanna get.
And if he hit the main line,
He gonna see what we buy.
Oh, bitch ass nigga. I'm
A rich ass nigga.
Waiting for you to get home so we can get the shit on. I stayed up, nigga.
Paid up, nigga.
Your jailhouse stories, they
Made up, nigga.
One day on Monday you'll catch a stray. I have been known to get
Saturdays.
I got a call to make. I got a flight to
catch.
You need some money on your books like a couple of racks. I
Heard you hit your homeboy, but he ain't hitting you back cause you a
I
rat.
just woke my rich ass up.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, bitch ass up, bitch.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up.
Use up, bitch.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up.
You done. Shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, shut your bitch ass up.
Use up, bitch.
Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up.
Use up, bitch.
Yeah. Hey man, that goes so hard. That goes so hard. We gonna run that CS2 back. We gonna run that CS2 back. Y'all just kick back, relax, man. Put your feet up on the coffee table. Y'all rocking with your boy. Stand on the media. We rocking today. I told him I was coming. I did give fair warning. I really did. We gonna put it all on the table, bitch. Let's get it. What they think about you, Snoop? The audacity, the nerve, the unmitigated gall of these suckers.
Motherfucking right.
I just woke my rich ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Hey, this shit bang. Rick Rock, salute. Shut your bitch ass up. Good morning, Twisted by Meeks. Hey. Talk your shit, Snoop.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Everything you own. Snitching on the phone.
It's a time and a place.
And I really ain't got no. Make you wanna reroute.
And if he hit the main line,
He gon' see what we buy.
Oh, bitch ass nigga, I'm a rich ass nigga. Waiting for you to get home
So you can get the shit on.
Straight up, nigga. paid up, nigga. Your jailhouse stories, they
Made up, nigga.
One day on Monday, you'll catch a stray. I have been known to get
Saturdays.
I got a call to make. I got a flight to catch. You need some money on your books.
Like a couple of racks, and you ain't hurt your homeboy, but he ain't hitting your back, cause you a rat. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up. Hey. Hey. Let's get it.
Shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up.
Use a bitch. Shut your bitch ass up.
I just gotta ask you.
Shut your bitch ass up. Yay, yay. Yay, yay. Let's get it.
Get the money, then you get the power,
Wake it up.
then you get respect.
Wake it up. Salute to Snoop Dogg. I just woke my rich ass up. Man, shut your bitch ass up. Nigga, you the bitch. Yeah, this song right here dedicated to any of my haters out there. Salute to Snoop Dogg for the song for the haters that hate song of the year. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Told him, man, we coming, man. Salute to Snoop for that. So that's Snoop, right? Snoop said, let me respond though, swiftly. And if you know Snoop, man, Snoop don't really respond to shit, man. He more positive. He done changed his life. He like, I did what I done did this in the past, nigga. Ain't nobody no different than me, you know. But you know, when you got them skeletons though, and they in them closets, they need to come out and breathe. And I think that's what's happening right now. Will all those bodies fall out that closet? I don't know. It ain't looking good because you got Suge doing this interview with Discretion TV, right? And then they finally dropped it the other day. And then he hit, y'all about to hear it right now. And he say some things in here that woke up the demons. Cause then you got Reggie Wright jumping out there quickly and swiftly with John Highland, by the way, responding. I just want to point this out, then we gonna hit play. Now the rumor was Reggie and Sid was messing around. Reggie and Sid, but Suge just. I'll let Suge say it. I ain't even gonna say it. Is it in this part? Yep, it is. Alright, man. Twisted by Meeks pulled up, man. You can't tell me that song right there went banging on. Hey, we might have to finish it with that one. Whew, Snoop Dogg did that. Salute to the chat. The chat is chatting, and I appreciate that. Anybody new, hit that subscribe button, man. This is Discretion TV for the content. Salute to Discretion TV. This stand on the media, man. We reacting. Let's go.
Streaming over 1 million viewers and listeners and all that, and Discretion TV.
And I want to say Discretion TV did his thing with this. Salute to him. The number one Tupac and the death row story from Suge Knight standpoint or point of view. This is that channel. Number one.
Valentino, number one. Tupac channel, streaming over 2 million viewers and listeners, man. That's crazy.
Hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Why that like button ain't hit? Come on, let's go. Show your boy some love.
Channel, aka Machiavelli channel. I want to thank y'all for tapping in. This is our 7th year, 7th month anniversary. We got Suge Knight live for you guys as a special thank you. A special gratitude. Also, this is his 30th year to a lot of monumental things in hip-hop. We are talking about the 30 year of the Source Awards, 30 years of him losing his big bro, Big Jake, 30 years of the Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound New York shooting. These are monumental events. And I'm trying to get there, but I need to find more about Suge.
The fact that
we keep going over and over and over from the beginning of time that black men always got to fight black men for the ones who think they slaves and got to show up for their slave master. I'm not one. I'm not racist, but I am black, so I'm going to speak and try to do my best to represent what I am, which is black. Not that I believe in crime on anyone. I'm older now, so things I did when I was younger, I choose not to do now. But I'm definitely against black on black crimes and all this shit that you guys got going on between the podcasters and the rappers. But more importantly, culture vultures is very serious. Now, I don't personally have something to say bad about Reggie, but I do have a problem with Racist John. Racist John is a liar. This is a guy who never really worked for me, but he did some, what it was, internet stuff or whatever. He got $1,000 a month until he started having an affair with Sid.
Well, here's the thing, right? I want to stop right there. That's what I was saying earlier. I thought that was Reggie that was having the affair with Sid. So what I'm peeping, when you're dealing with these characters, right? These players in this space, everything, the truth is never on the surface. You have to dig for it. So Reggie put out audio yesterday showing that him and Suge Knight still be communicating. Now that audio was older audio, but nevertheless it showed that they were communicating. The rumor has always been that Reggie and Sid had an affair. Remember, he gave Wack said it, then Wack had his YouTuber SBGB TV said. I even heard that SBGB is back on it. Going back at Reg with that accusation. Now you hear Suge say it. Suge says it about John. What I do know, John went back. He filed for bankruptcy and did not let Reggie Wright Jr. know. And the Bomb First platform is majority owner of him. He's the majority owner of it. It's his. I don't want to. It is like Reggie owns a percentage, but it's not a big percentage. It's not enough to stop anything for him being able to sell it. At least that's how I understood it watching Delray Richardson break it down. Reggie owns majority. He's majority owner of that platform, and he's auctioning it. And Reggie didn't like that. Reggie had a real problem with that. So I'm like, well, is that Reggie telling Suge, hey man, this sucker about to sell Bond First, man, I'm gonna need you to go at John Island and put it out there that he had the affair with Sid. I don't know. Cause there's so many plays that be ran, man, whatever's on the surface is never really on the surface. And it did kind of take me back to see that Suge and Reggie still be communicating. I know Suge know Reggie recording them. He should know that by now. You know what I mean? And then to throw the trucker a heads up, even like I said, this is old audio though, with that Reggie played of what Suge and him was talking about. So I don't know if things have changed since then, but I think that is interesting that now I hear Suge say that the affair was between John Island, I think that's his last name, John Island, and this guy named Sid. All of a sudden, when it was always Reggie. Well, let's go.
One of the guys used to work for me.
District 13, what up, team, what up?
One other thing, if you look at the Tory Lane situation, if you look at my situation, even Puffy's situation, we can say what we want to say about Puffy. One side can say this, another side can say that. But at the same time, if Puffy gonna have organized crime, racketeering, and everything on him, if that's what they choose to do, I'm fine with that. But if you got lawyers, business people who's not black, and they doing 1,000% more than Puffy, they should be on both sides. The law should be colorblind. And I'm not a lawyer, Well, I'm always want to do something for the inner cities because that's who need the help the most. And the ones we pay the most hurt us the most in the legal field. So, I know somebody who's really on point, who really care about helping the people in the inner city, regardless if it's a woman or a man. So what I would like to propose is that we can start somewhere. Attorney Jasmine can come on and give knowledge and advice. And at the beginning, you can't even get advice for free from most attorneys. But I'm Suge Knight. I understand what it takes to be a man, especially a black man. I understand what it takes to get your freedom. So this is my gift to you. Back in the day, I used to give free counsel for people in the state, in the feds, and pay for it out of my own pocket. I'm in prison. I can't pay for it out of my own pocket. I know a great attorney who's willing to give you great advice. Tune in for the next time, along with Attorney Jazz. Jasmine, I don't even know who Jazz is, but
what up, geek?
You definitely guess. I'm out. He got $1,000 a month until he started having an affair with Sid. Guys used to work for me. 2 men. And to the fact that he started a company called Bomb First, which we know where that name comes from, Tupac.
Right.
But at the same time, you want to bring people on your platform to talk bad about Tupac, who never met Tupac. I never hung out with Tupac. Well, one person met him. You bring James.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want, with
Man,
which...
shut up, Buster. Nobody wants you to tell us what to do.
On there, that Tupac
Different levels in the
put
building.
James on his pocket.
District 13.
Left him drunk, crying, and upset. But you bring him on there to talk about it, and he didn't even know the man. Or all the ones who never met the man. So how could you say you using Bomb First, one of Tupac's sayings, to go against me? That's a problem to me. That's what you call a culture vulture.
Facts.
That's a problem when you'll take race and John. It's no gray area with me. It's about the truth.
Right.
See, that's where I gotta call Capto. Salute to Suge Knight, by the way. You know what I mean? Stand on the media, man. We shoot it straight down the middle, right? Half of that I agree with. The other half is you holding back though, Suge. You really holding back, Suge, because John Island is 100% a culture vulture. Always has been. They named the channel Bomb First, but they allow people to come on there and disrespect Tupac. Allegedly, a private investigator on Keefe D's behalf allegedly came out and said that he did his investigative research and found that Reggie Wright Jr. allegedly orchestrated the hit on Tupac Shakur, and that the FBI, Los Angeles PD, and a host of other hands were involved in this pot and this assassination of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, allegedly. Let's put that out there. So here's my thing. You have Reggie Wright Jr. sitting there, though, with John Island stamping everything he does. And we really know who running the quarterbacking over there. Who quarterbacking that over there? Do y'all think it's John Island? Or do y'all think it's Reggie Wright? Because I think it's Reggie Wright. I think John Island does all the techie shit, you know, the behind the scenes shit. That's what he do, right? And which is cool. But who put all the programming together when y'all running this content over there to go at Tupac when y'all get mad at something that Suge Knight may say that may be truthful? So what I'm saying to Suge is, if you gonna call him out, you need to call Reggie out too, because Reggie's sitting right there stamping it. And you know that channel name is a slap in the face. And Reggie say that him and John is 50-50 owners of the channel. And the bankruptcy is say something different, but let's just go off of what Reggie is saying. 50-50 owner. So he should take 50-50 of the blame and the responsibility of assassinating Tupac's name and character twice. That's crazy. The actual hit, allegedly, and then his character online by naming the channel that and bringing Whack 100 on your platform to disrespect Pac. That's assassination twice, but you did call yourself the Orca.
You turn around and say that one of my baby's mothers, which I'm not going to say the name,
Teresa Swans.
was wearing a wire
My bad.
to try to get me in trouble. Had no idea they was. But the truth is the truth. I didn't do nothing wrong, no time to get in trouble. That's why I didn't get in trouble. But when at the same time that you said on the show, Racing John along with Reg, and said that she had a problem.
See that? Racist John, right along with it, right along with Reg. But you see how quickly he just had to throw that out there and keep moving? Nah, Suge, you holding back. So my question is, why are you holding back? Why are you holding back on Reg? Interesting.
Problem. She had a case, so Reg took it to the FBI to get off her trouble to try to lie on me. What's crazy about that, Racing John, when y'all did that interview, you said her real government name. When Reg and the rest of them had gave her an alias name. That's like not only putting her in danger, even though I'm the one, according to you guys, she's trying to cross up. I have a child with this woman.
Right.
So if they were shooting at her, what if my child would have got hurt? Because these culture vultures, or racist people, don't care about men but views, except when it comes to their truth. More importantly, everybody got something to talk about.
Did y'all hear what Suge just said? Let's run that back. Now this is where he talking to Reggie. Yeah, this is where he talking to Reggie. Listen to what he just said.
Because these culture vultures.
So for the ones who don't know, Teresa Swans is his baby mother. And allegedly Reggie Wright took her to make a statement on Suge Knight. That Suge Knight is the one who gave up the money to put the hit on Big. He the one that paid Poochie to do it through Teresa Swans. We just found out through Deuce Sims and Yael Damukiwe conversations that allegedly Wack may be the one who turned Teresa Swans in. And we all know he corroborated the story that Poochie is the one who killed Big. This shit deep, y'all.
The rest of them had gave her an alias name. That's like not only putting her in danger.
Here we go. Let's go back.
Time that you said on the show.
I'm going to call you back to Lil Queen.
And said that
hey, Tanya.
she had a problem. She had a case. So Reg took it to the FBI to get off her trouble to try to lie on me. What's crazy about that, Racing John, when y'all did that interview, you said her real government name. When Reg and the rest of them had gave her an alias name. That's like not only putting her in danger.
They gave her an alias name, but on the show when they were talking about it, they put out her real name. That now makes her a target. Suge is saying, you made my baby mother a target in my child. Why did y'all do that? This shit deep, y'all.
Even though I'm the one, according to you guys, she's trying to cross up. I have a child with this woman.
Right.
So if they were shooting at her, what if my child would have got hurt? Because these culture vultures, or racist people, don't care about men but views, except when it comes to their truth. More importantly, everybody got something to talk about. Why they don't talk about what they did in life. Don't talk about what I did in life. Talk about what you did in life.
So with Reggie, with Suge is waking up right there is, if y'all notice, Reggie, whenever Suge Knight comes out and tells the story that pertains to the Tupac and the Biggie case, and he's talking about firsthand information because he was actually there. Reggie, who wasn't there in most of these instances, in most of these cases, he wasn't there. He wasn't nowhere around. You will hear Reggie tell the story as if he was right there, or he's correcting Suge Knight, who was there. A person who was there, you're trying to correct him and tell him that he misspoke, or you know how he likes to twist story. How would you know if you wasn't there? And then you telling my story. I don't need you. Suge done told people over and over and over, I don't need you to tell my story. Like he's saying right now, tell your story. That's what he's saying. He's telling Reggie, tell your story. Whack, tell your story. Stop telling mine. I respect that.
If it comes to death row, none of you motherfuckers never worked for death row in that position. If you got $1,000 to get on the internet, be that $1,000 internet person. If you was sucking Cedric's dick and a few more dicks, be that dick sucker you was, Racist John. If you stole gold chains and medallions from my office, the word said so, and the proof, and some of the other people to put my money, my profit in your pocket, that's crazy.
Crazy.
You turned around and unreleased Tupac songs, and some of the people in Canada, you couldn't steal them by yourself.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
But you did. Any person that loves Tupac and loves Death Row, they shouldn't describe nothing in life. Listen to Racist John. If Reg choose to do something on his own, that's him. But anything with Racist John involved with, nobody should never support him. Period. When it comes to my company, if you're not the one that made any of those decisions, I think one of the worst things that happened to Death Row is letting police, crooked cops, bring it down. When you look at that,
I'm gonna call you back. Hey, Queen. I see you, Queen. I just seen that.
Created by GoDaddy Arrow.
Man, who cares about GoDaddy? Okay, that was the end of that clip. Man, look, it's just heating up, right? So then Reggie Wright turns around. Let me put this new one up. Is this the right? Hold on. Yeah, I think so. Hold on. Let me post and make sure. Let me see. So Reggie hears that, and yesterday puts out a video. So Reggie puts out a video to respond to that. It ruffles some feathers. So I'm looking at it like this. Also, Suge, because Suge did a lot of interviews. Reggie didn't respond to all of them, but he responded to that one. So he plays audio Reggie did yesterday of a conversation he had with Suge Knight. Like I don't know how recent. It's an older video, but it shows that him and Suge still be communicating. They still talking. You know what I mean? And in this audio, he's giving a heads up to CS2 back. That's some dudes, some dumb moves want to do something to him, right? And it has something to do with Big Meech and all that. So he plays this audio, and then he sends his subliminal threats to Suge, telling him, watch what why move, tread lightly, really, tread lightly. That's pretty much what he's telling him. Tread lightly, because I got audio, plenty of it. Keep playing with me if you want to. So then I wake up this morning, I say, let me play that for them, of what Suge said that got Reggie up out of his bed like that. And then I want to play the 8-hour live that my guy from Discretion TV, salute to him, he did a live, like, I'm not going to play the whole 8 hours, but it is good. I'm gonna play a small portion there, but y'all gonna have to go to his channel, sub up, like, share, and watch it over there. The rest of it, but it's 8 hours, and he's breaking down the interview because there's a lot more to that interview than just that snip. And I believe he puts out part 2 of it too. I got to go look a second part to it, but I think it's going to be a whole bunch of parts to this interview. I think he said it was over an hour and some change long, so he's going to break it down. But anyway, he's explaining the interview. He's explaining certain things that won't be in the audio that him and Suge discussed. All the questions that the fans have, like Discretion TV is a real Tupac support channel and Suge Knight support channel. He runs nothing but Tupac, Suge Knight, Death Row. He runs nothing but the Death Row content, in the Tupac content over there. Big supporter. He's tapped in, and Reggie didn't like it. So while I'm setting up everything to play that for y'all, I look up and I see my Discretion TV is a grinder. He dropped another video just now, and this is Suge Knight's exclusive reply to the Big Meech Whack 100 audio recorded by Reggie Wright Jr. So the audio that they just dropped yesterday, Reggie did, this is a response from Suge Knight to that. So I said, well, you know what? Let's do an audible like they did at No Jumper. You know, the loose cannon Jay Reed tap a nigga on the feet kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Go whack. And let's run it. Let's see what Suge says to that audio. I would play the Bomb First audio, but you know they strike over there. They don't play fair. So y'all seen it. If you didn't, go watch it and then come back. Let's go.
Valentino.
And salute to everybody that pulled up real quick. Kid the Barber, Lenny, salute. I'ma call you back. Beautiful Queen, salute. Big Sherm in the building. D Twins in the building. If I missed, Twisted by Meek, salute to you, Queen. I think I got, Geekio, the whole District 13 is in the building. That's a fact. Crazy Ed, Rocksteady, my guy. Phoenix J, what it is, what it ain't, what it might do. Who else over there? Florida Boy, that's my guy, my A1, my day one. The whole squad over there, District 13 is in the building. Just know that. Let's go.
LOX, keep shining and grinding, brothers. Do what you do.
Number 2, whatever I say once, I can say twice.
Let's go, Suge.
So he should play the whole audio. Or did you erase that part back where you said, well, I said, even though the motherfucker lied and said.
Right off the back. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to let it rock. But right off the back, pork butt. Reggie. Come on, Reg. Stop playing with, don't play with Simon. Simon is not to be played with out here. You hear me? Salute to Suge Knight. Real talk. Suge, I gotta keep it honest here and stand on the media, bro. I rock with you and respect you. But listen, you was being too light. You was being way too light in that interview. You know, you need to call Reggie out for the bullshit that he doing over there too. He not exempt. It ain't just John Island. It ain't just Cash Jones. It's him too. If you gonna call one out, call all out, right? Let's get it.
He had to pay for my mother's funeral, and I came and asked him, what's the lie? Did he throw some change? Okay, yeah. But nobody needed shit. He said, well, you never said nothing about his mother being a crackhead. I said, I leave people's mothers out of this. Even though he crossed the line, and mentioned my mother, I'm not going to go and say Wack's mother's a crackhead. And Pork Butt, the one was like, yeah, we all know she's a crackhead. She was put in some baskets. I said, I'm not going to talk about people's mother.
Discretion TV. We gonna make this make sense. So yesterday, Veggie Jr. and John Highland from Butt First, who dated a guy named Sid, they replied to my interview with Suge Knight. Yeah, if you don't know, now you know. If you didn't want to know, now you know. I have an exclusive interview with Suge. And my first release, it was targeted at Veggie Jr. and John Highland from But First. Vegas key witness crashes out and replies with an audio clip that he illegally recorded Suge without his permission. Gotta ask this man, can I record you? Suge never gave him permission to record. California state law, that's Penal Code 632. That's a violation and a $2,500 fine, Veggie and John Highland. If Suge did not give y'all permission to use that audio recording and record him, that's Google it. That's California state law, Penal Code 632. And if you did it before, if you have a track record, that's $10,000. You see, y'all just made yourself look like, especially you, Veggie, you just made yourself look like the trash Suge been calling you, right? Or his feeder assistant, his bottom feeder assistant. Drop comments below. Drop comments below. And to top it off, no Diddy. Suge said the audio that Veggie and John Highland from Bud First played, it was edited. Simon says play the whole audio.
So look, man, you gotta look at it like this. The people who have something to do with the culture of hip-hop and want to do something hip-hop, it's all the same ones. You know what I mean? Regardless who it is, regardless if we don't always see the eye to eye, but regardless if it's the West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, down South, everybody added brought something to the table to make hip-hop what it was.
Right.
Now, you get motherfuckers who never had nothing to do with hip-hop for no one, but they want to attack, they want to attack, they want to attack.
I guess his phone call.
No, Wack always had a head on the shoulder for business and not just.
Bruh.
You know, we used to have a term, it's a derogatory term, and me and Suge used to call, it actually was stunt dummies. We used to call, and he wasn't a stunt dummy. And that was a word that Suge, you know, take the stunt dummies to this, take the stunt dummies to this. And
okay. Now, when you listen to Reggie, or what Pac calls him, pork butt, this stupid motherfucker put his foot in his mouth. Yeah, it's true. One of the people just told me, let me hear what he said about me letting him know to tell Wack that they was on his head, somebody close to him. And he was like, oh, man, you don't want to see him dead, huh? I'm a man of God. I don't want to see no one dead. I believe somebody can get their ass whipped, but I don't believe.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You have the power to call those shots and see who lives and dies. Only God should be able to do that. So I don't play those games. So yeah, I gave him a heads up, even though Wack did a whole bunch of lying and said a lot of shit to try to make himself look famous. At the end of the day, I did give his fat pork butt a heads up and tell him, don't get crossed up. Number one. Number two, whatever I say once, I can say twice. When he should play the whole audio, or did you erase that pork butt, where you said, well, I said, even though the motherfucker lied, Wack lied and said he had to pay for my mother's funeral, and I came and asked him, what's the lie? Did he throw some change? Okay, yeah, but nobody needed his shit. He said, well, you never said nothing about his mother being a crackhead. I said, I leave people's mothers out of this. Even though he crossed the line, Wack crossed the line and mentioned my mother, I'm not going to go and say Wack's mother's a crackhead. And pork butt, the one was like, yeah, we all know she's a crackhead. She was put in baskets. I said, I'm not going to talk about people's mother.
Right.
I'm not going to get to the point where say where his name come from or who acts like who. I ain't shooting no shots at this dude, but I know he's going to be mad anyway, say something. Whatever the fuck you say, wax say. Because we know, a piece of context with you, a lot of motherfuckers to be behind bars. But I'm already in prison. Hey, Pork Butt, we got the recording to what you said in your grand jury and tell me you want to make sure you go PC. Ain't nobody never ran me up for yours, nobody never will. And I guarantee you this, people can talk to lawyers and say weird comments about me, but I don't know you. People can turn and say, I lost $300 million. If you believe that, that's on you. Now, if they do some fraud and some crazy stuff, of course they did. They do that to all the black men. They could continue to do that.
Do me a favor, y'all. You just got here. Hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. It gets me further in the algorithm. Share this live. I'm telling you, this right here is going to be monumental fucking content one day. Because the truth is coming out. And it's for everybody to see. Medieval style. Hit that like button. Share this live. Thank you.
All the broke motherfuckers be happy when a real motherfucker falls. Now back to the Pork Butt. You got a company. It's fraud. Everybody know who Simon is. You got a company, you call him Big Simon. Writing letters to Universal stating that that's your company and they owe you money on publishing from All Eyes on Me and all these other projects. When did you ever buy any publishing? When did you ever have any money to buy any publishing? Your house, you bought with my money. And then you put it in your wife's name, trying to hide it. I don't even know if you still got it. For as my building, show the check where you bought my building. I never seen nobody be able to buy a building on the police side. Now, I tried to give you respect and tell your father, you little motherfucking daddy's boy, to get the shit squared away. And your bitch ass to say something about my mother again, you fat motherfucker. I'm already in prison. When your ass come to prison, I'll be waiting on you. You say, I want a piece first of all. Only thing I know about your fat ass is that, number one, you remind me of that motherfucker of a diary of a mad woman, black woman, whatever it was, Tyler Perry, when the lawyer was in a wheelchair. Fat ass. Aside.
Tired of typing tons of
Suge is on demon time today, man. Let's go.
If you have any love or respect for my homegirl, you know, I ain't gonna throw her on the bus, but we know we close. Your wife, nigga. If you have any respect for her, let her go. I'm in prison. You don't see me, I don't even give business. You don't see me trying to press nobody to come see me, because they got a life to live. I'm the one doing this time. Your fat ass the one crippled. Let your wife go and let her live her life. You don't think she get tired of saying, okay, brushing your teeth, here goes the water, spit it in the cup. Are you hollering? My diaper need to be changed. Why are you going to let that pretty nice woman have to change your fat ass diapers? And everybody want to act like I'm the one with the problems. Whatever y'all say about me is fine. I live a life of 1,000,000 motherfucking years in a situation that most people will never get that opportunity to live. So God bless me. When it's time for me to die, I'm going to heaven anyway. I ain't never scared of it. But let's go back to you. You was a deacon at the church, selling dope at the church. You was a crooked cop. All your cronies got 40 years or more.
Simon, for the record, you're saying, Simon, for the record, you're saying Reggie Regional Jr. was a deacon in the church?
A deacon at the church.
Lord.
Make matters even worse than that.
Jesus.
You got a RICO, money laundering, whatever case you, your father, and that other gang members had. Now, they should let Puffy go. Because, according to y'all paperwork, 100% put the paperwork up there. According to that, the gang members was taking money from a whole different state, Memphis to be exact, and putting them $3 million in your father's bank account. Not yours, not your wife, not theirs, your father's. And your father got no time.
Facts.
You did what? 6, 7, 8 months? At the same time, let's walk it all back. How was you living before I gave your fat ass a job doing security at Death Row? Name one thing that you accomplished without using my name.
Mike B, what up? Salute.
That you bring whack on every time you turn around.
Cameron,
every story
salute.
about me.
AFBM, salute. Stand on the media.
Say, oh, look at me in the car. Look at me in the car. Whack. We should never have nothing bad to talk about. You win with the mouthpiece. We supposed to deal with this in the same motherfucking room, nigga. Period. Fuck all the talking. But you want to post a picture, as Porkbutt tells me, and get it sent to me, of you in the car, and I'm driving and you on the one side. The one time you ever been in my car, probably. And you say, look, I'm not the driver. No, you couldn't be the driver. Your feet ain't long enough. Your legs ain't long enough to match the gas pedal. If you look at that motherfucking picture, you can see my whole body and me. Only thing they can see from you is your little head. That's how short you is. All the short niggas want to get it on me. I'm not going to pick on them little kids. But back to you. Let's start this all over again. So,
Suge is on demon time today. He said, I ain't about to be sitting there arguing with those little kids. Waggy say you a little nigga. A little nigga. He said, go in the, leave baby in the corner. Now let's get back to you, Reggie.
Y'all say I got AIDS. I know I don't. But tell you what. Every bitch you done put your dick into, Porkbutt, I had the bitch first. So, you sound stupid as fuck. But we know you don't got AIDS. Your ass too fat. But tell you what. Young Walry got a diaper company. He don't have no love for you. You should be getting free diapers. Instead of getting free diapers, you still paying for them. Let that woman go. She shouldn't have to be changing your fucking diapers.
Oh my God, bro.
Bruh.
You never had a fight. Okay, one motherfucker could tell me in my neighborhood or anywhere else, they beat up me. The homie that snatched your fat ass out your car, poured gumbo on you, and took your car, and your daddy had to come lay it back down and beg for your shit back. Your father is plucking you up as you told, I'm not going to say who, but you know who y'all told. Why was your father and all his cop buddies in my box at the Staples Center? Why was y'all in my houses when I was in prison, when you couldn't be in my houses when I was on the streets? Your father and the crooked cops. Why was your father, your family, and the rest of the crooked cops on my yacht. Is that not fucked up? So you trying to tell me a man like myself have 2 yachts, and y'all want to talk about me, but your father and the rest of the crooked cops is on my yacht in the marina every weekend?
So, for those who may not have caught what he said, I'm pretty sure y'all tapping in like I'm tapping in. When he was in prison, so how I see it, let me speak from how I'm seeing everything. So the accusations is that Reggie and then Reggie Sharifa, who is Suge Knight's baby mama, the whole LAPD probably. No, that was part of their little unit, their little crew. Reggie Wright Sr., whoever else was involved in that. The plot was to kill Pac, the unalive Pac, unalive Suge, take over Death Row, and they would run Death Row. That's what the plot was. That's what Suge Knight started to figure out throughout the years of dealing with what he was dealing with, to where he found out that his attorney was in on the hit also. But he said when he in prison, before I went to prison, y'all wasn't on my yachts and in my houses and all that. There was separation there. Y'all did what y'all did, I did what I did. Now I'm locked up. Y'all all in my houses, all on my yachts, and living a great life off of my dime. And then y'all got the nerve. I'm telling y'all, man, these niggas are narcissistic to a level that we ain't never seen before. The audacity of these dudes. And then they trying to take his legacy as theirs. Whack, that's all he do. He stand next to somebody, study him, learn him, destroy him, and then it's like whatever character that is, that once they touch you, they become you. That's what Wack is. He's a chameleon like that. No matter who it is, he studies you, learns you, then destroys you. Now he becomes you. That's wicked shit. Like, that's wicked, man. And that's what all these dudes have in common.
When I was in prison,
Simon, I heard a recording that Reggie said that he's going to share audio with you discussing about women that is in your life and it's going to make it difficult for the rest of your 9 years. He's trying to like say he has something on you about your relationships with women.
Check this out. Whatever crook butt can tell a bitch I know for them to stop fucking with me, that's the wrong bitch for me. She shouldn't be fucking with me. And she can listen to a motherfucker who got lobster claws, who can't fucking walk, who shits on herself, and she can listen to him. Don't listen to me. But I do know this. Any woman that really know me and really love me is definitely not going nowhere.
The truth coming now.
I don't have to say any woman. Only one. Had them all. I only choose to have one as I am today. Me at 60 years old is not the same when I was in my teens and my 20s and my 30s and my 40s.
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives to my dorm room and built a Wix website
don't
to
nobody
sell
give
them.
a fuck.
Bruh.
Oh, my man, Discretion, and he on his shit. He is on his shit.
It's like the new Wild Wild West.
Man, don't make us wait for the rest of this that video, bro. I think he gonna do us like that, but let's see.
Get the likes set for me and drop your comments below. Simon said, if you could say something once, you can say it again.
Fact.
Now this whole thing started because Discretion TV, again, I had an exclusive, and I still got an exclusive interview with Suge Knight, one of the living legends of, some people say he's the godfather of rap, the godfather of hip hop, produced a lot of household names. Drop comments below. Can't take it away from that man. All this over because Suge reminded the Pac Nation, the Suge Knight Nation, that
Cameron, that's the one I'm playing next.
had feminine ways.
Not the whole 8 though.
Yeah, he did. He reminded the world and said, hey, he was having an affair with a guy named Sid. Suge said, John never met me. John never worked for me. Remember, they did an interview a few years on Security Guard Vlad and admitted a lot of the crap. This is when they was acting real feminine and proved what Suge was saying. They just mad that Suge repeated it on Discretion TV. Drop comments below. This is what this whole thing's about.
One thing that I hate is because, and I do it too, I'll be honest, I'll call you gay or homo or something like that to tap at you, call you a racist or say that you're a racist or something like that. That's the black person's go-to card, unfortunately. But I know it hurts you deeply because you're somebody that has done a lot for, you know, just like Vlad, the culture. And everybody wanted to call you people culture vultures and all of that.
Personally have something to say bad about Reggie. But I do have a problem with Racist John. Racist John is a liar. This is a guy who never really worked for me, but he did some, what it was, internet stuff or whatever. He got $1,000 a month until he started having an affair with Sid, one of the guys who used to work for me. Say you using found first one of Tupac's fans to go against me. That's a problem to me. That's what you call a culture vulture.
You know, just like Vlad, the culture, and everybody wanted to call you people culture vultures and all of that, just because they love our history as well. When they don't even realize that white folks is the one that buy more records than anybody.
Right. I don't mean to cut you off, Reggie.
Well, you did.
I did, and I'm sorry. I want to say this. I've been knowing Vlad since Death Row.
Correct.
And
Vlad or John?
I mean John. Ever since
that
when
nigga
I met
Vlad.
John always been a good motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah, get them likes up. Let's go.
You know, I wouldn't be fucking with him.
But for real, so to hear
Thank you too.
what was said about him is fucked up.
Yeah.
But people speak on everybody. But come on, man, don't throw some bullshit out there in the air that ain't real.
Yeah.
So let's give John history of what he did and where he was at.
Well, we'll let John do that.
Yeah.
But I have to be the one first to apologize to both you two. Because both of y'all have taken strays from Suge Knight.
That's a fact, kid.
Because of me.
Kid the barber, that's a fact.
Anybody that don't know it, don't see it, y'all just, okay, whatever.
Not today, though.
That boy cooking, though. He been cooking
That's
lately.
why y'all both have taken strays.
Right.
Yeah.
And because he won't tap at me for whatever.
He won't mention your name.
For whatever reason.
I don't know
why.
Mike, he went in on
he'll
pork
go
butt.
spin your windows and people done threw some things out. And I'll be like,
Pork butt.
talking to his person as his rep, his closest person. That nigga said, what about me? He called me. He wasn't calling you the janitor, Reggie. He wasn't talking. So I got to keep my shit in the chamber.
Yeah.
I got to keep it in the chamber. But John, being a friend of you and James, I told y'all, I'm going to let y'all speak y'all truth and tell it. So John, take the floor to how you want to respond to that, because I know it hurts you deeply.
It does, but it's.
And for those of y'all who don't know, this is John. He is the owner, the guy that I do daily interviews with over on Bomb First. And he took it straight from Suge Knight this week.
Yeah.
Well, last week, and we wanted to address it.
Yeah. So I started working for you because Suge was in jail. I started working for you in '98.
Yeah.
Doing the website, doing graphic design, stuff like that. After Death Row, actually, I was there with what I think was just Butch, me, Petey Pablo.
At the end, you talking
about? At the very end, and maybe like an accountant or something.
Okay.
But it just sucks because I don't want to say I've never said fuck.
So if you ain't been around since the very end, when it was all over, pretty much, how are y'all out here acting like y'all the face of Death Row and Suge Knight, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre's legacy. What? Reggie, you were a glorified security officer, off-duty officer, right? That's all you were, bro. You had nothing to do with the success, but maybe a little bit to do with the failure of Death Row towards the end. And that was by design because y'all was trying to steal it from Suge Knight. That's a fact.
Fuck Suge, because I've always been grateful for the opportunity that I got. Bomb First is what it is because of the opportunity I got, because I knew you through it, we connected, we did our stuff. Same with you, James.
Right.
But
And,
I can't.
and other people that helped you started at the beginning before I even got involved.
Yeah. But I know that I shouldn't be mad at him because he doesn't know.
You get everything.
Oh, pork butt.
Exactly. He's getting everything from somebody that I don't know who that is. But I can't be mad at anybody but him because
John the Culture, Vulture Island.
The Heron shit, I feel like he made up.
No, he did, definitely. Well,
no one would even say some dumb shit like that. That's
what.
First of all, he said I sold a death row chain.
95% of us think that.
You would have got that. If you did, John, you were supposed to break bread with me.
Look at Reggie. Look at this grimy. He's a
But
grimy
you know what I mean?
fuck.
It's like, who would even want some shit like that where somebody's like, oh yeah, this is a chain that a guy had when he died.
Well, if I can clear it up for you, JP got
Look
Heron.
at this nigga here,
JP is Heron's brother. Heron was killed with his chain on.
Exactly.
And everything that was released to his family, off his body, his person, JP got it. And that's his brother. So you couldn't have had, unless you hooked up with JP and said you had a dealer or somebody.
I've never met JP.
But in fairness to what Suge said, he said that John presented to the person that bought it that way.
Yeah, so maybe he's insinuating that I lied and said, oh, this was Heron.
That was funny, Mike.
I know. I've had many chains over the years that I have sold.
Because people were pawning them.
People were pawning them, and when the office, when the building was getting handed over to the IRS or whatever it was for the tax thing, whatever the reason for the...
Yeah, wasn't that.
Were they
We sold the building, but...
Sold it, okay. And they were clearing everything out. One of the employees saw the chains and said, we're not going to put these in storage. He sent them to me. I sold them. But I've asked him, like, whose were they?
Wow.
If you got $1,000 to get on the internet, be that $1,000 internet person. If you was sucking Cedric's dick and a few more dicks, be that dick sucker you was, Racist John. If you stole gold chains and medallions from my office, your word said so, and the proof, and some of the other people to put my money, my profit in your pocket, that's crazy. If you turn around and unreleased Tupac songs, and some of the people in Canada, you couldn't steal them by yourself.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
But you did.
One of the employees saw the chains and said, we're not going to put these in storage. He sent them to me. I sold them. But I've asked him, like, whose were they? They were just, they were just in a storage.
Yeah, they were never issued out.
Yeah, and it never says,
or taken back.
Exactly, and it would never say this was worn by this person, or this chain was worn by that person. So I've never told anybody that bought a chain, this was so-and-so's, because I don't know. But
so when they gave the chains to you, you sold them. Did you give the money to Death Row?
Yes. The person sent me said sell
Not to
3.
Death Row, to the person that got him, that came up.
Yes, yeah.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Yeah.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Yeah.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
You got $1,000 a month until you start having an affair with Sid.
Yeah.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
who Suge should be mad at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Wow, that's nasty. Did y'all catch that?
It's hard
Go
'cause I
back.
can't say fuck Suge
Catch
because
that? No, you better not say that and get your whole jaw broke, nigga.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Suge's assistant
That's
at
who
the time.
Suge should be mad at.
Said sell
Not to Death
3.
Row, to the person that got
To
him,
the person-
that came up.
Yes. Yeah.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Yeah.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Cedric
You
Garland.
got $1,000 a month until you start having an affair with Sid.
Who was that person?
Cedric Garland.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
That's nasty word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But
anyway,
I can't say, it's hard because I can't say fuck Suge because
Bet not, nigga.
he did so much. But at the same time, I hate that he believes whoever this is that's emailing him. I don't know if it's Dave Mays. I don't know if it's Toy. I don't know who it is, but either way, anybody that knows me or has worked with me, I would hope that they would know that I'm not racist.
And that's all we're here for. And that's all we're here to clarify and to clear up because it hurts you.
Yeah.
And he said it on a big platform.
Yeah.
And we wanted you to address it on a big platform.
Yeah. And I don't know if he said it because, like you said, that's if somebody's white.
Well, that's our word.
Yeah.
I
that's
do
what
it.
he said.
I'm wrong.
He insinuated something about Vlad too, saying people from other countries have a platform and they just make money off people, and it's not like that.
Yeah.
But.
Wow. Man, look, Suge came out guns a-blazing today. I'm trying to tell y'all. Hold on, let me see if I got this other one queued up. Why I ain't had this queued up for y'all, man? Why am I slacking? Slacking on my Mackin. Hold on. Oh, no.
But she Loach, LOXD.
LOXD block. Man, look, we cooking. So, Suge, with the fiery response, he essentially called Reggie Wright's bluff, right? He called his bluff. He basically told him, whatever you gonna do and dry snitch and try to end my relationship with whatever woman or women out there, do what you do. Do your big ones. He told him, do your big ones. I don't care. Whatever you got to do, do it. And I'm going to tell these people what it is, pork butt. That's essentially what Suge was saying, allegedly his words, not mine, but I do agree with those words, pork butt. But anyway, Wack and Reggie are a bunch of liars, and they have been doing a lot of nasty things out here, man, to our people, to our culture. I keep trying to explain to y'all there is a war coming. There is a war a-brewing. Y'all are not listening to ones who are not listening. It's a race war, people. Y'all put the president in office, that's going to put the nail in our coffins, and y'all don't even see it. Y'all do not see it. This is crazy. But it's brilliant how they did it because we should have knew that they would use us against us, but we didn't see it. We didn't understand how they were going to do it, and they did it in a most brilliant way. They got an FBI agent who comes from the streets who they did what they were supposed to do as far as with law enforcement. Put people in law enforcement that come from the environment, that come from these areas, that understands our structure, understands our psyche, understands what our buttons that are pushed, that sets us off when we are in our communities. They instead of investing in jobs and local jobs that hire felons and people without education, very little or none at all, but will train and instead of investing in that to boost up the economy, they went the other route. They said, let's hire those people that are from those communities. Let's hire them by catching them on cases and getting them to flip. And depending on their connection to the industry, because we have to take down a lot of these people that are in the industry so we can weaken the African American race, so when this race war happens, they can't fight for themselves. I have a video that I'm debating, should I do it as a video or should I do it as a live and watch it together? I will figure that out today. That may be what I do this evening. And it explains everything that I'm saying to you right now. My father sent it to me yesterday. And it's crazy because it's saying the same shit that I've been saying on when I go live for the past month or so. But I've been preaching this whole time though. There's something deeper at play here. This ain't just about the Olympics. People think that they got Big U out of there just because the Olympics is coming to America or to LA. No, that's not the only reason. It's not the only reason why they going at Jay Prince. They going at all our people that are in position. But anywho, I better wake up. There's a war coming. It's a war brewing. And these players right here are some of the key players that are keeping us in a disadvantage. And it's all coming to light. So after Discretion TV did their interview, salute to Discretion TV for the content. Link will be in the description of this video. Go subscribe to his channel. I'm not going to play his entire live. It is 8 hours, y'all. 8 hours. I don't think y'all can see it yet. Hold on. Let me make sure y'all can see it. There we go. It is 8 hours long, but it is good. It is juicy. It's so much in it. I want to skip around, but I'm not going to do y'all like that. Instead, I'm going to play a nice chunk of it. And then I want y'all to go watch the rest. It may take y'all a couple of days to do it, but y'all gonna get it done. But he essentially explaining the interview and how it took place. A lot of the questions that us people who support, who watch, who are intrigued, the type of questions we would have, he asked a lot of those questions. Some of them didn't make it in the interview, but he did ask him and he did get an answer, and he is explaining and telling it and talking, and he's giving you a lot of information in this live that he did. It's pretty much a celebration in the interview that he just did. So we're going to run it, and it's a lot in it. Just enjoy. I appreciate everybody that pulled up to this live, man. I promise you I ain't going to stop and go. Only when there's key points, and I know I have to do it because of YouTube rights and all that, but I really want y'all to hear what the brother is saying. He's cooking in this. I didn't hear it all, so we're going to hear it together. Let's go.
Catch the feelings. Hey, did y'all
Hold on. Let me go past all that. I'm trying to keep my mind today shit bad.
If you don't want a producer all in the video, come to death row. Right? It's 30 years later.
Salute to my guy, Discretion
30 years, Big Jake. Rest in peace, Big Jake Robles, right? 30 years, Big Jake.
Good, is it morning still? Good morning, beautiful black lady. I don't think I've ever seen her in my chat before, but salute to you. I think I spoke to Lenny. Drew V, what up, my guy? I see you. Anybody in the chat that I did miss, man, let me know in the second round leaving comments, and I'm going to get to you. If I didn't say you, it's because I didn't see you. Let me make that disclaimer, because I didn't see you. So if I didn't say your name yet, man, let me leave another comment. Let me know, and I got you. Salute to everybody. Let's go.
We're not going to forget about Jake, right? Losing Big Jake, and yes, I should stay tuned. Stay tuned. He talked about Big Jake. I asked about him. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you to my mods who keep reminding y'all to please help me out and get those likes up. It don't cost you anything to hit that like. If you didn't subscribe yet, hopefully by the end of this you will. If not, come back. I'll try to win that subscription. I'm not going to hold you at gunpoint for it or none of that. I just want you to rock with me because you rock with me. But if you can though, hit that like button and share this live. Thank you.
Saying the truth about Big Jake, right? And what, so stay tuned. 30 years, big stretch. Pac's from the foe. 30 years, dog pound, New York, right? So he broke that on this channel. He broke that, the 30-year anniversary and memorials on his channel, right? So hate it or love it, we not the Old Testament, the Old Testament of Discretion TV and YouTube was before my time. I can't help it. The way we said things, the way we view things with Discretion TV, I can't help it, right? Talking to the man himself that was sitting next to Pac.
nighttime in Vegas, September 7th. Just talking to him before the interview, just talking to this man and just making sure, like, yo, dogs, you know, you serving time for self-defense. How's your mental health, dogs? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's more important to me than a fucking interview for, and I wanted the interview for you guys years ago, months ago, days ago, weeks ago. But I'm just trying to say, you know, for all those that support me, you know, be careful of those bad choices you're gonna make tomorrow, today. Be careful. A lot of y'all still trying to get to a level, still trying to build your fan base, still trying to put out your book, still trying to start your YouTube, still trying to get your rap career, still trying to get into the acting world, the modeling world. If you start in a small boutique with hair salons and you know, listen, okay, I get you. Be careful of those bad choices. You know it's going to be a bad choice, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's be careful of that. Because it looks all good. It looks all good, right? And God is going to give us what he wants to give us. Like Moses didn't inherit the land. Well, Moses is infamous. He split the Red Sea, but he didn't. When you read the end of the book of Genesis and the books of Acts and all that, right, and get to know who Moses was. Thanks to Pac. Pac said Moses split the Red Sea in blasphemy, right? When you study that, he didn't inherit the land. At the end, right, when he passed away. So my gift to you guys, when I get a chance, like, just be careful of those bad choices. Like Bud First, John Highland, they reported my channel 4 times. Now look, the same channel you reported and try to get rid of got the exclusive on your neck. To anybody that want to repost the interviews, just give me my proper etiquette. I don't give a fuck. If I catch an interview that I did with Suge, just like how y'all want to play, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoever, I don't give a fuck. Just give me my proper etiquette. You know what I'm saying? I put it on, I went to the fucking studio, right? Don't try to violate and leave us out. Because he left some, let me tell you something. If you wanted to know the truth about Big Jake Robles, stay tuned. If you wanted to know the truth about his new petition also, it's an hour interview, right? So imagine talking to Suge for an hour. And I will say this, okay, so, let me share my day yesterday. So Suge still has the power that he left 10 years ago. I'm in the studio, y'all seen the setup, right? And as soon as they figured out it was Suge Knight, because I ain't tell nobody I'm going to interview Suge. I need the space. I need this area. I got to get some work in. I'm standing on business. I ain't say, I'm interviewing Suge Knight. When they found out that I was interviewing Suge Knight, everybody cleared that fucking room. Nobody was working the camera. Nobody was working the fucking screen in the back. I was like, it didn't dawn on me though. Ninja, it didn't dawn on me that's why there's no cameraman. That's why there's nobody working the screen. You understand? I was like, wait a minute. Oh, shit. Yo. And they still wanted their payment. 20 minutes. By the time she came in and realized that,
This guy don't got no screenplay in the background. I got to go in there and do my job. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. I didn't know though, because I'm trying to focus on the interview. And remember, I'm still trying to get to know Suge. Yeah, I've been chopping it up with this man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes through the nation, when I say Suge Knight Nation, now y'all know about my business. You know, through the Suge Knight Nation, you know, but I still don't know this man. I still don't know this man. Yeah, I interview Suge, but I don't mean I know Suge. You see, the first ninja that could put it in his right perspective. I interview that man, but I don't know that man. Ain't gonna catch me clout chasing. Oh, no. Ninja, I wanna know why I paid for a session and my cameraman left. I had nobody working the table. I was like, wait a minute. For over 20 minutes, the manager of the company, he couldn't believe it. He was like, wow, 20 minutes. Yeah, y'all left me abandoned. Like, what the fuck? I paid for it. And he still wanted his check. I was like, you know what? You know, one thing about Hollywood and corporate America and growing up in New York and Wall Street and stuff, I said, look, you can't fuck over somebody who's not trying to get fucked, if that makes sense, right? Yeah, so that was my day. On top of other, you know what I'm saying? One of my affiliates said, yo, you should sue them. They said, you should sue them. There's no way you pay for them to do services, and just because they hear Suge Knight over the airwaves and they hear Suge talking and, you know, coming at John Highland or what, I don't even know what they heard, bro. I would have to look what made them say fuck that. Or, you know what? To be honest, and I'm not snitching on them. Y'all, they left my session though. Y'all the engineers and shit, right? I'm not snitching you, the cameraman, but goddamn, right? I'm gonna be honest. It had to been at least 2 to 5 minutes within the session that they bungeed. 21 gun salute. Yo, God bless y'all. If you're just tapping in, I'm gonna take some questions, take all your questions about the Suge Knight interview. Let's play what I put out. Because what I put out is
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because y'all just seen what it's some new people here, right? So y'all might want to watch that again. The ones who didn't catch it.
You know, John Highland and them, they could act like they don't hear it, right? But they gotta reply. Yeah, Veggie, you gotta sit your ass down and say,
yo, he replied.
And say, Suge goes on Discretion TV. Yeah. Bro, I know how to work YouTube, so don't play yourselves. You can act like you don't want to reply, but yo, this shit is deep. All right, let me give some shout outs before I go to the interview and what we put out. And hold on, Cosmo, what's good? Thank you for the Suge interview. Yo, you're welcome. David, Benjamin, Isaiah, stop child trafficking, 21 gun salute. Yeah, Isaiah Spencer, Civilized, Mike, Brandon, Arvidius, Saynada, what's good? Mike Pina.
Hit that like Spencer, button like you like something. Saynada, talk to me.
Damn, 100, 21 gun salute.
Hit that like button like you like something. Come on now.
Before, you know,
hit that like button.
For the Wrench Gang members that was with us before the Suge interview,
I ain't forget y'all.
Uda on the go. What up?
Cigars and flowers to the females, cigars to the homies. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forget y'all. You know, I did it for everybody.
Hit that like button like you like something, y'all.
For years. Get shook, Tino, get shook. I got y'all. All right, so I want to go over a little bit of the interview that I did put out.
Silverback Gorilla up in there, man. Streaming over 1 million viewers and listeners and all that. And Discretion TV, Valentino, #1, Tupac channel, streaming over 2 million viewers and listeners, man. That's crazy. Y'all rocking up. Discretion TV, the best there is, the best there was, the best there gonna be. The #1 Tupac channel, aka
Yeah, Tino, let's go.
Thank y'all for tapping in. This is our 7th year, 7th month.
My nigga put on a suit for this interview. Salute to Discretion TV.
Live for you guys as a, as a special thank you.
Salute to everybody that supports Stand On Their Media, man. The number's been numbering, and I ain't really had to go put out a whole lot of content to get it done. I just had a glance at them analytics just now, man, and them analytics are analyticing. I'm just saying, salute to my guy Uda on the Gizzo. He pulled up in the building. He out there doing that Sean Combs, P. Diddy, hot lotion on the body work out there. No pause and all that. Not Uda, but he covering it all out there, and he doing a damn good job. I'm catching that, Uda. I see you over there working. When I touch down in Cali, that's what I'm gonna be doing with the big UKs. I'm gonna be going up there too, because I know a lot of these people be out here lying, capping, running all type of different narratives and all that. We ain't doing nothing but talking about the truth. We ain't got no dog to fight in this. You know, we just gonna call it straight down the middle, straight no chaser. Let's get it.
A special gratitude. Also, this is
Fam West, what up, my guy? Fam West, what up?
To a lot of monumental
West up.
hip hop. We're talking about the 30 year of the Source Awards.
Hit that like button like you like something.
Big Bro, Big Jake. 30 years of the Snoop Dogg and the Dog Pound, New York shooting. These are monumental events, and I'm trying to get there, but I need to find more about Suge.
Thank you, King J. Thank you, bro. We working.
Over and over from the beginning of time that black men always gotta fight black men for the ones who think they slaves and got short for their slave masters. I'm not one. I'm not racist, but I am black, so I'm gonna speak and try to do my best to represent where I am, which is black. Not that I believe in crime or anyone. I'm older now, so things I did when I was younger, I choose I can do now. But I'm definitely against black on black crime and all the shit you guys got going on between podcasters and the rappers. But more importantly, culture vultures is very serious. Now, I don't personally have something to say bad about race.
I don't know why not.
I do have a problem with racist John.
I do too.
John is a liar. This is a guy who never really worked for me, but he did some, when he was internet stuff or whatever. He got $1,000 a month until he started having an affair with Sid.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's stop it right there. Let's stop it right there. 21 Gun Salute, because I would be a liar if I said I knew 21 Gun Salute. If you just tapping in questions and answers about my Suge Knight interview exclusively on Discretion TV. And this, Suge spoke about in that part, in that intro, he spoke about the rivalry between rappers and also people that got podcasts. And I don't want to say no names. There's a certain podcaster, YouTuber,
right, that's throwing shade on Discretion TV, but it's cool. I'm not going to use that as a crutch.
Hold on, what's going on?
I don't make it in the business that I choose to be in. It could have been corporate America. 21 Gun Salute. Suge said, John Highland, you were a liar. He don't got a problem with Veggie. He said, I don't really got a problem with Veggie.
My bad, Joe.
But John Highland, you are a liar. You never worked for me. Was John Highland telling people he actually worked for Suge? He said you only got $1,000 a month. Was you like showing checks that you were getting paid from? Were you fraudulent checks, John Highland? Suge said you're a culture vulture. Can we just start with that? Right? Can we just start with that?
Yes, we can. Wake it up. Talk about it. Don't hold back.
Did you ask Suge what happened after Tupac left? Like, where did he fled to? 21 Gun Salute. Vegas questions. Okay. I don't want to spoil too much of the interview because it is still exclusive, and I do want certain areas to be like, oh shit. But we did speak about, I asked them personally for you guys about the body double or somebody dressed like Tupac. I asked them about a helicopter, right? I asked them, just to give you an idea, right? I didn't want to touch too much in Vegas because, first of all, the Keefe D situation, I still feel like, all right, I want this ninja Suge out. You know what I'm saying? I need Suge out, right? So the Vegas, I did ask some Vegas questions, especially the Vegas questions you ninjas need to move forward, right? There's one question that I asked them and was, let me see, I want to rephrase it because when I re-ask them, I'm going to re-ask them again. Go to re-ask them. I'm going to say Greg Caden stated that 1 minute Tupac not here and 1 minute Tupac is here. Meaning Greg Caden stated why Suge said, no, yeah, this is Greg Caden's statements. And I asked Suge. Greg Caden said that 1 minute you say Tupac is dead and 1 minute you say Tupac is deceased. Why does he does that? Right? I asked him. And his answer to me, I'm going to not even show anything about it. He did answer a lot of my Vegas questions and questions like that. 21 Gun Salute. I did it for y'all. Come on. I did it for y'all. I did it for y'all. Everybody that asks these questions on my channel, me personally, we all have our own views of what went down in Vegas. To hear it from the horse's mouth himself, like the OG would say, that's something different, right? And when you try to reason with somebody, when you try to get to know somebody for who they are, forget what we know with Death Row. What's up with the UNLV? Like, you know, how was it growing up with your mom? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's up? Like, what was the relationship like with you and your dad? Like, questions like that. Get to know the ninja. Like, you know? Okay. No. 21 Gun Salute. For me, I'm not talking about no other ninja, no other channel. For me, before interviewing this man, at least let me try to, like, get to know him to ask those kind of questions. 21 Gun Salute. Motherfucker right. Okay. Hold on. Rich Gang is shooting people? Y'all crazy as shit. Hold on. Rich Gang don't be playing. Rich Gang don't be playing. 21 gun salute. Hold on.
No. Vultures is very serious. Now, I don't personally have something to say bad about Racy. But I do have a problem with Racy John. Racy John is a liar. This is a guy who never really worked for me, but he did some, when he was internet stuff or whatever, he got $1,000 a month until he started having an affair with Sid.
Okay.
One of the guys used to work for me.
Okay. All right. That's what I left out. And good. That's too much to remember. John Highland, they gave you an intern spot. I don't know what they gave you, right? Suge said you never really worked for him, right? So whoever, I don't even think, I think Suge even said you didn't even meet him, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you never met Suge. Like, I'm just trying to, off memory, it was a long interview, excuse my French, no Diddy, right? But he did say you had an affair with Sid. Why would you have an affair with somebody, a man named Sid, John? Huh? Why would you have, that's what he said. That you was working with him or on the team until you had an affair with somebody named Sid. John Highland. Who's Sid? I don't want to know. Of that, I'm going to be honest, I didn't get that far in the interview. Oh, shit. Right? You had an affair. This is what I'm saying with Reggie Jr. You know this stuff, right? And you set yourself up. You make a comeback during the David Kenner speech that, not even David Kenner's speech, it's just Suge made a comment on Cuomo and said he just found out that his attorney was involved with the assassination with Tupac. And all of a sudden, Veggie makes this miraculous comeback. You know what I'm saying? So I'm watching, right? And I'm watching these other YouTubers. Because that's the problem with me too. You know what I'm saying? But it is no more. You know what I'm saying? After my interview with Suge, God told me, he spoke to me and said, you know what? All that shit with these other YouTubers and you are set apart now. I'm going to set you apart. Right? And
a whole lot, Kid the Barber.
I make sure you guys get the correct narrative. Not no Scooby-Doo detective shit. Not no ninja that used to be in Bad Boy Records and Sean Combs Enterprises. Not no ninja like that. I want the people that I fuck with Pac and all, I don't. That's why y'all got that Suge interview. That's why it wasn't just an interview. I made it historic. I took it to the studio, right? Put them cameras up. Let's get these cameras up. When they, again, if you just tapping in, when they heard Suge Knight over the airwaves, they immediately left the building, B. That was crazy for me. When I put it together, like, oh shit, Suge, because you know, we study hip hop. And I'm like, yo, why would they do that during the Suge interview? Oh shit, they been doing this shit when Suge is in the building. When you hear the stories about Suge and people leave, and even G-Unit, they were saying that. And a few of them would say, nah, we not leaving, or Suge has this voltage that he put on hip hop and music that when he's in the building, something, okay? To this day, I was like, this is crazy. You had no cameraman for like 20 minutes. Nobody working the screen, and that's their job. Because that's in the package. When you pay for all that shit, I could have used my own camera.
Hit that like button like you like something. Welcome for pulling up. Appreciate it. Stand on the media. Let's go.
Oh shit! 21 gun salute.
21 gun salute.
Just tapping in. Should let it leak and set the record straight on Discretion TV that John Highland from Butt First. That's how I used to call him Butt First without even knowing this shit. That's how I used to call him. To me, he been has sugar in his tank. You can't tell me, Ninja, you don't got sugar in your fucking tank, right?
Man.
You can't.
Hey, let's wait, man. Hold on.
John Highland ain't had sugar in his tank. Suge ain't have to leak that. Right, he leaked that on my channel, and I didn't even title it like that.
Man, why is it a lot of undercover brothers out here in this YouTube and internet space? What's going on? Man, a lot of your favorite YouTubers, man. Yo, real undercover brothers, man. Listen, me personally, though, I don't got no issue. Look, I ain't gonna say I don't have no issue with it. It ain't none of my business. I don't really give a damn. It ain't being done in my bedroom, which I do believe whatever a person do in their bedroom should be their business. Blase, blase, blah. However, though, when you hide it and then it gets exposed, then you get mad when we start, you know what I mean? When we clown about it, when we joke about it. But I feel like whatever I'm gonna be, whatever I am, I'm gonna represent it proudly, you know, to the fullest. I'm a proud heterosexual. I don't care what nobody thinks. I love women and women only. They do it for me. And I represent it proudly. So if that's what you are, then be you. Be represented proudly. Stop being undercover, though. It's the undercover that's not really working for me. And then when it comes out, and we like, see, we knew it. We knew it. Then they get mad. Oh, they be in their feels. They be in their feels. Alright, come on, man. We know what's going on. What up, Jonas? Let's get back to the content.
I didn't even troll him yet.
Please hit that like button like you like something. Please, let's get them likes up. I appreciate it.
Yo, I did not even troll him yet. You see how vicious YouTube could be? I didn't even start trolling John Highland about that. Why would you have an affair with a man named Sid? A man in any, right? In any area. That's why you bash a lot of females when you talk about Pac and Biggie and Suge.
Saluna is a free and confidential.
The way you talk about them. In your interview with Sharita Knight, Suge Knight's ex-wife, the way you was moving with her was like some feminine barber hair salon shit. I was like, yo, why he acting like he in a hair salon with Sharita? I was like, yo, I said, maybe it's just me. Okay, let's get back to this interview. I'm working.
Freaky ass niggas, 69 gods. Hey, run for your life.
Things I did when I was younger, I choose what I can do now. But definitely
A real freaky ass. Yo, Twisted by Meeks, listen. I can't even go with that, right? That shit different. Like, cause I'm a freak. See, but we gotta at least put put it in categories. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. We gotta put it in categories. Like what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, freaks for the, I don't know, for the undercover groups. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because all freaks don't come in the same shape and sizes. Some don't do what others do, so we gotta figure out what freaky category we gonna put them in. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't be in the same category with all the other freaks who do freaky shit, because that is different to me. That's yeah. That's what that is.
One other thing, you know.
That's what that
you look
is.
at the Tory Lane situation, man.
Yo. You gotta be careful how you talk about that shit on here, man. I'm telling you, boy, somebody will get your page taken out just for speaking your opinion about it.
So, it's my gift to you.
Crazy.
To talk bad about Tupac.
Hold on. I got y'all.
Until you start having an affair with Sid.
Oh my God, Sid.
To me.
I feel bad for Sid. They raking Sid over the curve, over the coals.
He got $1,000 a month until you start having an affair with Sid. One of the guys used to work for me. To me. And to the fact that he started a company called Bomb First, which we know where that name comes from, Tupac. Right.
My man Kid the Barber said, ain't no licking ass over here. That's out. Said he ain't playing the Duke shoot. How many of y'all on here that will, let alone admit it, eat ass? Men and women. If you eat ass, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't eat ass, put a 2 in the chat.
But at the same time, you want to bring people on your platform to talk bad about Tupac, who never met Tupac. I never hung out with Tupac.
Let's talk about this. John Highland and Reggie Wright Jr., Vegas key witness. Remember that. This is Vegas key witness YouTube channel Suge's talking about. Let's not forget that. He's talking about Vegas key witness sidekick, John Highland having an affair with a man named Sid. Who is Sid? I hate to ask these questions. 21 Good Salute.
I hate to ask these questions.
Let's not forget, this is Vegas key witness. They put you in.
It's a lot of twos in the chat.
Tupac hit.
It's a lot. Hold on, y'all. It's a lot of. It's a few twos. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you will let. Well, yeah. It will no. That's gay. To the women, would you let your man eat the groceries? Put a 1 in the chat if you'll let your man eat. If you'll let your man eat the groceries, or put a 2 in the chat if you wouldn't let your man eat the groceries.
So if you orchestrated a Tupac hit and then you create a YouTube channel called Bomb First,
hold up, sir. What she say? I'll get my ass ate, but I ain't eating ass. Okay, girl. Let that freakiness come out. Who else? Don't be scared.
From Tupac, because Tupac got a song called Bomb First. You take the idea, here we go with the stolen shit, right? And say, hey, we gonna name our shit Tupac after Tupac's Bomb First and have people on our channel disrespect Tupac. That's crazy. Why would you do that?
Listen to Twisted by Meeks. Facts. I'm not eating no ass. That's just not normal, but I'll receive it like receiving it is normal. That's funny.
That's why Suge said you're a culture vulture.
All I'll say, he said, I was the Kid the Barber. All I'll say, I ain't saying I have or haven't. All I'll say, there is a G-spot back there on a female, because you got to make sure you let people know which way you talking about. That if you hit that bitch right, you gonna see her do some shit you ain't never seen before. Some shit you ain't never seen your girl do before. And she gonna be hooked. So if you ain't never did it on your girl, don't do it. Because I'm telling you, once you do it, you ain't gonna never be able to not do it again. I promise.
We know that.
How did we get on this?
$1,000 a month until you start having an affair with Sid, one of the guys that worked for me, to me, and to the fact that he started a company called Bomb First, which we know where that name comes from.
Yum.
But at the same time, you want to bring people on your platform to talk bad about Tupac, who never met Tupac. I never hung out with Tupac. Well, one person maybe. You bring James on there that Tupac put James on his pocket, let him drunk, crying, and upset. But you bring him on there to talk about it, but you didn't even know the man. Or all the ones who never met the man. So how could you say you found first one of Tupac fans to go against me? That's a problem to me. That's what you call a culture vulture. That's a problem when you take race and John. There's no way it's about the truth.
Right.
If you turn around and say that one of my baby mothers, which I'm not going to say the name, was wearing a wire to try to get me in trouble. I had no idea it was. But the truth is the truth. I didn't do nothing wrong, no time to get in trouble. That's why I didn't get in trouble. But at the same time, if you said on the show, Racing John along with Reg, and said that she had a problem, she had a case, so Reg took it to the FBI to get off her trouble to try to lie on me.
Hit that like button like you like some.
Racing John, when y'all did that interview, you said her real government name. When Reg,
Let's talk about this.
the rest of them gave her an alias name.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. He broke that on my channel too. 21 Gun Salute. Suge broke his silence on that too. Tammy Hawkins, right? The infamous Tammy Hawkins. Teresa Swan. Everybody, you know, her name is out there now. So, you know, it was Teresa Swan by Greg Caden. And Suge said, you know, John Hyland, yeah, I gave her an alias. Veggie and Greg gave her an alias, and you gonna say her real name in an interview. Why you put my baby moms in danger? Why would you do that? Why would they do that? And remember, Veggie was asked by Bill Carson, why would you agree with Greg Caden's Teresa Swan's theory when you yourself just admit that you don't even believe it?
Good question.
Veggie never believed the Teresa Swan. He didn't even know if it was true or not. The Teresa Swan theory from Greg Caden that Suge baby mom wore wire or was working. No, she didn't wear wire. She tried to wear wire or something in that nature. She had visits with Suge under legal appearance, meaning she appeared to be an attorney for Suge. That's how she got to have private visits. Her visits were legal visits, according to Greg Caden, right? So during those visits, Teresa Swan was able to orchestrate with Suge Knight the murder of B.I.G. through Poochie. Greg Caden told Bill Carson, yeah, I don't even know if that theory is true or not, but anything to bury Suge, you know, he might as well say that, right? So Suge is saying, okay, not only that I ain't do nothing because I would have been arrested, I didn't even know she was wearing a wire, so that means, you know, obviously she didn't get what she want out of me, right? Obviously, we would have been heard some Suge Knight shit. They never even fixed it, though.
They put that theory out, the Tammy Hawkins, the Teresa Swan, the theory, because her name is out there now, right? That's foul. They was never supposed to leak her name, right? Even they leaked her name on a channel that they interviewed Suge on too. They leaked her whole identity. If you follow my channel, you know what I'm talking about. It was the guy that interviewed Greg Caden, the Indian guy. He had the fake murder rap board. He said, I figured it all out on my board. Everybody figured it out. They figured out the whole Vegas and Biggie case, right? Right, but that dude, he had her face. Yo, Ninjas is crazy. 21 Gun Salute. Deborah, thank you. If you just tapping in, questions and answers about the Suge Knight interview, my exclusive Suge Knight interview. We spoke about it was an hour interview, and like I said, a topic like this, he spoke about and leaked it on my channel. He asked John Hyland and Reggie Wright Jr., why wouldn't Veggie say, hey, you're not even supposed to say her name? Why would John feel so comfortable to say Suge's baby mom's name in a regular podcast interview? That's what Suge is saying. You're a culture vulture. I love it. He broke that on my channel. It's cool. I don't got to buy my subs. I don't got to buy my bots and my likes and my views. This channel been organic. We stand on business. We stand on 10 toes about this shit. You understand me? We got viral videos. We got videos in 300Ks, 200Ks, 100Ks. So, you know, that was before the interview. Now, you know, this new season that I was blessed to share with you guys, Suge is setting the record straight. Why would you name your channel Bomb First, and we all know as Pac fans, that's a Tupac record, and you got people on that same podcast dissing Pac, disrespecting Pac Ops, James. He put James on there, right? Okay, let's get back. I want to get back to what I put out so far. Hold on. It's almost over. Hold on.
According to you guys, he's trying to cross up. About child was one.
Right.
So if they were shooting at her, what if my child would have got hurt?
Damn. Suge said if they shooting at my baby moms, what if my child would get hurt?
You guys, he's trying to cross up. On me. What's crazy about that, Rachel John, when y'all did that interview, you said her real government name. When the Reds and the rest of them gave her an alias name. That's like now only putting her in danger, even though I'm the one, according to you guys, she's trying to cross up. My child was one.
Right.
So if they were shooting at her, what if my child would have got hurt? Because these culture vultures are racist people. Don't care about men but views, especially when it comes to their truth. More importantly, everybody got something to talk about. Why they don't talk about what they did in life? Don't talk about what I did in life. Talk about what you did in life. And if it comes to death row, none of you motherfuckers ever worked for death row in that position. If you got $1,000 to give on the internet, be that $1,000 internet person. If you was sucking Citrus dick and a few more dicks, be that dick sucker you was, racist child. If you stole gold chains and medallions from my office, your word says so in the proof, and some of the other people to put my money, my property in your pocket, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Let's talk about that. The stolen death row chains. 21 Gun Salute. Let's talk about that. Them stolen death row chains that ninjas was running around with, and then, you know, apparently
They revamped them, right? Suge never gave you a death row chain, Veggie. Reggie Wright Jr., Vegas key witness. Suge never gave you a death row chain. Why was you wearing a death row chain on your YouTube channel? You know, Veggie, if y'all retire one more time, it's not going to do good for your YouTube channel. So speak now forever in peace. Why you wore a death row chain that Suge didn't give you? That's crazy. Suge didn't give security no death row chain. Did Buntry? I think Buntry had a, but Buntry, I don't even think Buntry was security. Ninjas is talking like Buntry was security. But that's not how the media presented it. Buntry was never security, bro. Buntry was Suge's bro. Drop comments below. Yeah. Suge leaked it again on my channel. Stolen chains. Who gave you a chain, Reggie? Suge didn't give you, the head of security, no fucking chain. No Love, Wrench Gang, salute, said, I think it was 3 different styles of death row chains. Yo. Yo, somebody said Pac signed in 9-5 and Val did it in 2025. Cigars, man. You know what I'm saying? I could never replace Pac, fill the shoes of Pac. Could never. But I will accept that I was chosen to carry the message of Pac and his legacy with diligence, and the proof is in the pudding. A lot of blessings, I'm learning that you don't gotta you don't have to make a parade about it. You know what I'm saying? God knew why he blessed me with that interview. God knew why he did it in his timing. Was talking with Suge for a couple of months, you know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes. And before that, the Suge Knight Nation, and toast to the Suge Knight Nation and the bloodline that, you know what I'm saying, sworn to secrecy shit. You understand? I will say that, we stayed on business, and my first interview, I feel what made me valid from day one, my OG Smooth B. And I can't wait for the truth to come out through Suge Knight. My OG Smooth B and Greg Nice, his partner, right? I feel that made me valid that, okay, Pac was going to sign Greg Nice and Smooth. I'm Smooth's protege. I got videos with me on stage with with Smooth. I got videos with Smooth wearing my shit, my jewelry, accessories on stage, right? I got pics. I got the songs with Smooth, right? A lot of these YouTubers, they talking about Pac, they talking about Biggie, but what's your affiliation really? How did it affect you? You know what I'm saying? What stories can you... So when I came in and I said, yo, Tupac jewelry found on Biggie. Look, why would Biggie wear similar jewelry? So Biggie was copying his style? We got to make this make sense, New York. We got to make this make sense, Cali. Got to make this make sense, Detroit. Got to make this make sense, Cincinnati. We had to make this make sense, Chicago, right? We had to make this make sense, Florida, Arkansas, Utah, Texas, right? We had to make this sense, South Africa. South Africa, UK and South Africa, they've been supporting like crazy. If you're just tapping in, 21 Gun Salute, we going over my Suge Knight interview exclusively. To the people that's ghost watching and you really believed in me, and a lot of y'all really believed in me that I could take it there. Thank you. That's why I took it to a professional studio. I could have interviewed him anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I could have did it anywhere. I felt like, yo, this is a situation where, yo, let's get this in a real studio with put them cameras up. You understand? All right, let's get back to this interview. And I promise I'm gonna go through y'all questions if I missed your question. Just let me vibe out. Hold on.
And wrong, no time to get in trouble. That's why I didn't get in trouble. But at the same time, you said on the show, Racing Child along with Red, and said that she had a problem, she had a case, so Red took it to the FBI to get off her trouble to try to lie on me.
Oh, yeah.
About that,
oh, shit. Let's talk about
y'all
that.
did that interview.
No.
You did a real government thing. When Red and the rest of them gave her an alias name.
Nah, it's up to us. That's why I love my channel. Wait. Shit, 21 Gun Salute. I love my channel. That's why I love that shit. Yo, listen. Cigars to my bros and the flowers to the females. You know what I'm saying? Cigars. Suge said cigars to y'all. He ain't said flowers to the fellas. He said cigars to the fellas and flowers to the females. You know what I'm saying? Listen to me. Listen to me. Suge said Veggie. You took Suge's baby mom to the feds and she got in some trouble, but you took her to the feds or whatever, allegedly. And that's when he allegedly gave her his immunity deal. Drop comments below. Yo, Veggie, your immunity deal. He's talking about that. See, Suge been locked up, but he knows what's going on. And, you know, it's up to us as a nation to say, he's talking about that immunity deal you said you gave away. Veggie's told Federale Pill Carson that he was offered immunity. And when Teresa Swan got in trouble, Suge's baby mom got in trouble, Veggie said, I took her to the feds and said, hey, give her my immunity that, so he was telling his fan base that he had immunity for Biggie. Y'all remember that? I never heard it. I've been asking y'all, send me that, please. Send me when he said he had immunity, he has immunity. Because he told Pill Carson that he gave away his immunity. It's either you have it or you don't. Suge called John Highland a liar, and I call Veggie Jr. a liar. He said, I gave her my immunity. Must I play that tonight? Must I play that interview with Federale Pill Carson? The audio is kind of, but we heard you loud and clear. Yeah, it's either you have immunity or you don't. Why would you pretend that you had immunity if you said that? You told Pill Carson, volunteer the info, because he didn't even ask you all that. Greg Caden, RJ Barn, two scumbags. Y'all talk about Suge like he's a dog, but never interviewed a man. Greg Caden, it was your job to interview Suge. Greg Caden never interviewed Suge. It was his job to interview Suge. Wait a minute. Oh, shit. Niggas did murder crap with no Suge Knight interview. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. Yeah, so Veggie, you want to make old videos? His fan base is ridiculous. But first, I don't know how y'all deal with him. He went live and made videos out of his live. Because they were slacking on the bench. And y'all put up with that shit.
21 Gun Salute. Suge broke his silence. And just that 9-minute clip that I released out, right? When you break it down, what Suge is telling us, in that part of the interview, that part of the segment, you know, Suge came a long way. From the Suge Knight that they painted to us on the media to actually talking to this man, not just the interview, but actually getting to know who Suge is, right? He changed a lot, bro. He changed a lot. Right now, he's just setting the record straight. Don't confuse the energy or the frequency or the message. That's what people do. They stole Death Row from him. And just because he didn't show up from court, he lost it legally, I guess you would say. But I will say this, right? The fact that he say things like still free Puff, that takes a whole lot of growing. That takes a whole lot of growth. For you to say yo op, and you know yo op, that is alleged, it's alleged that yo op put out $1 million hit. Yo op put out $1 million bounty, right? You saying still free Puff. Again, a lot of people say, yo, Tino, how can you say Suge had nothing to do with the homicide of Tupac Shakur? Because a lot of y'all not with that body double theory shit. I'm talking to you people, because I feel the Pac Nation is divided by the body double theory, Machiavelli, and Tupac Amaru Shakur. I feel that's where it's separated at. For years, I've been doing videos for you guys, been covering Pac's topics from New York, took out the Quad Studio, showed you the trap door in Quad Studio that it was using in and out, surfing through the trap door. For years, I've been standing on all 10 with this Pac shit to the Suge interview, right? I see Pac fans divided from the Machiavelli body double theory to the Tupac Amaru Shakur. There's Pac fans that don't believe that he pulled a fast one, and I asked Suge, because I'm for one, I want my channel to be realistic every day. I want it to be, my Suge Knight interview will show you the energy I'm trying to tap into, right? So that's where I want my channel to be at, and even better, right? So a part of that is getting the real facts out. Even if it's a body double theory, Suge did said nobody's seen Pac dead. He said that. Nobody's seen Pac dead. I asked him. Greg Hayden said, 1 minute Suge Knight says Tupac is dead, and the next minute he said he faked his death, and you know what I'm saying? And I asked him. And to hear his answer, you're not gonna get no. I'm not gonna ruin the, right? I'm not gonna ruin the whole. Again, a lot of people ask me, how can you say Suge had nothing to do with the shooting, and he was sitting right next to Tupac? And I said, yeah, you see, that's why, because he was sitting right next to Pac. When I look at the Frank Liger shooting, I'm out here. I didn't put it out. I didn't do a topic on it, record it, but I did go by the Frank Liger shooting. I passed it a lot of times, right? And when it dawned on me that this is where Kevin Gaines got shot, I'm like, yo, this is crazy, right? When I look at the Frank Liger shooting and the Vegas shooting, Vegas and the Biggie shooting was done at night. It was done at night, right? So, because the way Biggie got shot and nobody in the truck got hit, I believe these were professional assassins that shot at Pac and Big. because Frank Liger, he could have clipped Gaines anywhere. He clipped Kevin Gaines in the daytime. That shooting was executed in the daytime. So my whole thing is, all right, I'm not going to take no chance with no professional assassin or anybody at night. At night? In Vegas nighttime? Nah, I feel Snoop Dogg said they was coming for that whole fucking car. 21 Gun Salute, if you just tapping in. Greg Caden said that there's a Snoop Dogg FBI file, FBI report that Snoop Dogg was trying to throw the blame on Suge Knight. Nobody breaks that down. It's not even talked about. The FBI have a document that states Snoop Dogg said the man next to Suge Knight was the one who did it. He implicated Suge. My whole thing is, how can a man that had the walkie-talkie, heard play-by-play, tell the feds anything, make a statement like that? Like, that's so crazy. No one knew that almost 30 years ago, that Snoop Dogg had a walkie-talkie. But Snoop was making comments. Yo, the man next to Pac did it. Well, bro, you had a walkie-talkie, so who you want me to believe? You see, when a group of people go so hard, no Diddy, go so persistently to jam somebody up and put them in prison, to jam somebody up and frame them for murder, to jam somebody up and frame them for a homicide, I look at it sideways like, wait a minute, let me decide for myself if Suge did it. Jeez. All the time you had a walkie-talkie here in play-by-play and Veggie Jr., you rat-face criminal crooked cop. Reggie Jr., every time you look and listen now, he's trying to clear Snoop Dogg. He's trying to clear David Kenner. Bro, you're Vegas key witness. Lord, I pray that there's a DA that's looking at this like, wait a minute, you're our key witness. Why are you making videos about David Kenner not being involved? Why are you making videos that Snoop Dogg not being involved? You're our key witness. Yo, these dudes can't separate the two when it comes to what they signed up for. You signed up to be a key witness, right? And every time the victim, because if Vegas thought that Suge Knight was down with it, they would have been said something. If they thought that Suge had anything to do with it by now, they would have been said something. The FBI, LAPD, Vegas, well, really, the FBI and LAPD, they have yet to clear up a lot of their mistakes from their Suge Knight got Pac, their Suge Knight got Biggie theory. I'll say it again. The LAPD has yet to correct their false narratives on Suge Knight got Pac and Suge Knight got Biggie. The FBI, they have yet to correct their narratives and their wrong info that they put out that Suge Knight got Pac and Suge Knight got Biggie. Russell Poole figured out, like, wait a minute. You got to separate Death Row and Suge Knight. You got to put David Kenner and Reggie Wright Jr. in their right box. Boom. Poole dies in the sheriff department through Michael Collin and the other flunky, R.J. Barn. R.J. Barn, Michael Collin, sets up Russell Poole to go in the same sheriff department that Reggie Wright Sr. and Reynolds, Sergeant Reynolds, they move on to, if we talking after 1999, after Compton PD went out of business and they went to the sheriffs and everybody, they sent Russell Poole to the same freaking affiliation of the sheriffs, right? These two geniuses, Michael Carlin and Russell Poole, right? Because Russell Poole figured it out and said, look, we can't keep putting Suge and Death Row together. Kenner and Reggie Wright Jr., they have their own narrative. Poole drops dead. So what do we do now? Get the box. That's why they wanted the dead cops box. When you see these YouTubers and RJ Barn after the dead cops box, they wanted the dead cops box to control the narrative because it's all about making Suge look bad because they lazy. They don't want to say, oh, some brass shields, some porky butts, pork pigs, a whole pig rack, whole rib rack, a whole fucking ham and cheese sandwich. They don't want to make it be known that the LAPD, Compton PD, probably even Vegas, FBI, was all a part of the homicides, the shootings, Christopher Wallace, Tupac Shakur. Russell Poole figured it out and said, we got to take Suge out the equation. Now it makes more sense. David Kenner and his wife, Erica Kenner. David Kenner and Erica Kenner had credit cards from American Express. Millions, over $1 million, David Kenner. You're just the attorney. Why you got credit cards? Okay, you can have a credit card in company. Who knows? American Express said on September 7th, you took out 21 hotel rooms in Vegas. 21, the smoking gun. We get rid of Suge Knight, we don't got to explain these 21 hotel rooms on American Express on September 7th in Vegas. Let's get rid of Suge Knight. We don't got to explain this shit that we used his credit cards or whatever that was connected. And Erica, she made some charges. So what way, fuck it. Suge survives. Somebody got to explain the credit cards. The American Express cards, Kenner. You and Erica Kenner, y'all went on lavish sprees. Lord knows what they didn't put in the bill, right? 21 hotel rooms in Vegas, September 7th. They buried that. When you say that shit, it's like, okay, that's how lost the tribe was. That's how lost the culture was. That's how lost the nation was. When you say 21 hotel rooms was rented in Vegas through David Kenner. On the American Express bill that nobody paid. That's how you know. Bro, follow the bag. So for years, Kenner and Right Way Security, Reggie Wright Jr., they were like hitting, and Suge was the front man to blame everybody. The Suge was the front man to put the blame on him for everybody who's dead when it comes to Tupac and Biggie, right? Yeah, but now Suge is still alive. And more proof is coming out. And the proof that's coming out is leading to Reggie Wright Jr., Vegas key witness, right? And his sidekick, he has help, John Hyland. Listen, to steal the money and to have eyes and ears everywhere, you need a flunky like John Hyland. Worse, he's dating a man named Sid. So you got this Dr. Dre culture with inside Death Row. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And Veggie took advantage of that, I feel, when it came to John Hyland and use them to get the money? Who knows, man? Who knows? The saga continues. If you just tapping in, 21 Gun Salute. We're talking about my interview with Suge Knight. And he left a lot of details. He did speak about Kenner briefly. We didn't really deep dive into Kenner because we know what we know about Kenner already. We know Kenner, he, besides stealing the money, Kenner was already connected to George Khaleesi's. Frank Alexander had David Kenner on a wiretap. He spoke about George Khaleesi's. David Kenner said, yeah, I got his number already. George Khaleesi's is Mr. No Weapons. "21 Gun Salute." Reggie Wright Jr. He crashed out the other day. He said, Suge Knight, you don't want me as an enemy. Who remembers that? Give me some thumbs up if you remember. And get the likes up for me if you didn't like yet. I'm taking questions and answers. If I didn't see a question yet, please forgive me. Right? Suge Knight him saying he just found out that Kenner was involved with the assassination, that changes the game totally. Because now they got to figure out how to protect Kenner. He started crashing out and said, hey, Suge, you don't want me as an enemy. You don't want Reggie Wright Jr. as an enemy. You think I got time to go to jail? Reggie, calm down. What did you do? Right? Suge said, I just found out my attorney, David Kenner, was a part of the assassination. Reggie breaks his silence and tries his best to protect Kenner in the same way he was trying to protect Snoop Dogg. Bro, you're Vegas key witness. You look more guilty than barbecue spare ribs on a motherfucking grill, okay? That's how guilty you look. You're Vegas key witness, and every time Suge says something, you make a topic out of it. Right? "21 Gun Salute." All right, let me see some of y'all questions. Y'all asking questions. Did you and Keefe D lock eyes? Hey, Suge, did you and Keefe D lock eyes? Yeah. Sneak dissing in the videos like dudes don't pay attention. All right. If you got, you know what? Let's make it easier on myself. If you got questions about my Suge interview, right, and anything you wanted me to know, drop them now. Because I'm not going to be going through all this search. Right? Some of y'all probably not even here no more. Do Suge know that Reggie be bashing him and calling him broke? Suge knows every time Reggie says something, and I'm just getting this from the Suge Knight Nation, he knows, from what I know through the Suge Knight Nation, not Suge, the Suge Knight Nation, that's separate. Please separate it. From the Suge Knight Nation, he knows every time Reggie says anything about him, any comment, any reply, they're on his neck. 21 Gun Salute. You seen Coke No Jokes? You seen Coke No Jokes video on Pac? Nah. How long was the interview, Val? The interview was for the whole show was about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. I got it re-edited. I own the masters, even when they, you know, they screwed up. but I own the masters to that, to the whole show. It's about like an hour and 20 minutes. But I gotta edit it, because you know, there's a few parts like not the interview, but the beginning and the ending. Just gotta edit it. Not the interview. You're gonna hear Suge in his whole, in his, you know what I'm saying? I'm not cutting the show. Nothing. How you gonna be bullied in a chair? You scared? Hold on. Okay, is Buffer still closed down? I'm not. Nah, they not closed down. Listen to me some more, bro. The Suge said he had a plan to get everything back. Does he have a plan? Suge's plan right now, what he told me, is he's trying to unite the real. He's trying to show that he is changed, and he's trying to correct history. As you heard, he is promoting that, and he is throwing a ballot for attorney Jasmine Mines. Shout out to Jasmine Mines for her to start her movement, to start giving legal advice and get clients that she can probably help. You know what I'm saying? You know, he is moving in that direction. Throughout the interview, Suge was saying he's not about trying to cause no drama. He's just setting the record straight. So that's why I said, don't get it confused that, you know, like, for instance, he's telling us about John and his boyfriend Sid. I didn't know John had a boyfriend named Sid, but they might take it offensive. But he's just setting the record straight that you were like fired or something. You weren't supposed to work no more because you got caught in an affair with a guy named Sid, right? John had his own Punisher. Yo, John Hyland, you had your own Punisher. Just Keisha was good. I don't think Suge was affiliated with getting rid of Pac, but I do believe he helped him escape. We spoke about, yo, PJ Allen, are you still here? I saw you earlier. 21 Gun Salute, that's my G. And Nate, I don't know if Nate's still here or if you here. That's my G's. Yo, we spoke about, again, that all boils down to the Greg Hayden theory. When I asked him, that Greg Hayden said, 1 minute Suge said Pac is dead, and 1 minute he said Pac faked his death. I asked him about that, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not gonna give no reaction to that. I don't want to spoil it for you guys because that will probably change or make, or you know, whoever thinks whatever about Pac faking his death and escaping. If you do believe it or you don't believe it, Suge's reply and answer would definitely might make you look at things a different way. I'm not gonna give you no, because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. But yeah, we spoke about that. 21 Gun Salute. It's a Pac channel. You know, what else? I would like to know, why does Reggie believe he's running Death Row? Suge spoke about that. He spoke about Reggie and that Death Row situation. I can't wait to drop the next video. I can't wait to drop the next video. I can't wait to drop the next fucking video. I was working on the next video. It's exclusive. Never told before. Never told before story. I can't wait for you guys to hear that shit. That's what I'm saying. All that shit, ninjas was popping, and all that shit ninjas was doing to cover up the truth about who they really are. I'm talking about Reggie Wright Jr. and John Hyland. All that shit y'all was doing to put on the show and stuff. When it comes down to the fundamental basics of what happened with Suge and his bros, and you know what I'm saying? Like, forget what y'all telling us. Let's take incident by incident with Suge bros, and you know what I mean? Like, we gonna start. Like, I know what I asked them in the next video that I'm gonna release. That's gonna make y'all look at Reggie Wright Jr. a whole different way. That's why I'm live right now. I was working on a video. I'm like, yo. Yeah, so, you know, we're going to follow suit. They want to go live and make videos out there live. We're going to follow suit, but we on their neck right now. What he put out about Reggie Wright Jr. First of all, for him to put out that Suge's baby mom was wearing a wire, and Suge baby moms got caught doing some federal shit, and Suge baby moms, he had to take her to the feds. That's the type of ninja he is. Like, yo, who wants clout and views from that? That's crazy. Yo, listen to me. He leaked some bomb, blockbuster. I gotta make sure that one of the topics he talked about is a company. I will say is a company's name. I will say is a major company, right? I will say is a major fucking company platform. He leaked out that they did some trifling shit. Right? And when I say trifling, if you're from Mount Everett, when somebody say trifling, you know, it's one of those shame on you, and this is a big major corporation right now, still valid. And he leaked that on my channel. So what I'm going to do with that video, I'm going to make sure I even post that on my Instagram and tag the company. You know what I'm saying? And then pay Instagram to keep promoting that shit. They gonna get it. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah. So I was like, yo, when I analyzed the interview with Simon, I was like, yo, this man is giving me information that still talking about this major corporation that he has a lawsuit with them. He's giving me info that, yo, he has a major lawsuit with these people. In my eyes, like, wait a minute, if they did that to you while you were incarcerated, right, that's a major lawsuit. So it's my obligation, Afterthought Media, 21 Gun Salute, my day one. Yeah, my G, right? If this major corporation did some sleaze bucket shit to this man while he's in jail, can't defend himself, because they know, right, he will go to that office and handle his BI. Because when I tell you the corporation, y'all gonna be like, what? Them bozos? Right? He has a major lawsuit. To me, he has two major lawsuits. He has two major lawsuits. The LAPD used his Chevy Impala. Drop comments below. Y'all was violating Suge. Y'all was violating this man. Why would y'all use his Chevy Impala for your police reenactments about the Biggie Small shooting? That's foul. Yeah, he has a couple of major lawsuits. Like, if an attorney was a shark, man, you drop them trust me, a lot of times you just drop the paperwork, they want to get rid of it. They ready to settle. A lot of them, they don't know that, I mean, a lot of them, they don't want the world to know that they doing trifling shit. Yeah. So, you know, interviewing Suge for you guys and him giving me info that he never leaked on any other channel, is dope. And I knew what y'all wanted to hear. A lot of y'all, again, y'all want to get down to, did Tupac have a body double theory? Did Tupac leaving a helicopter? I asked that man. You hear me? I wasn't afraid to ask those Vegas questions. I ain't asked a lot of the Vegas questions, but I asked those questions. You understand me? Yeah. A lot of y'all just want to know, was there a body double? Was there a fucking helicopter? Period. Right? Y'all don't care about nothing else. Oh, shit. How much time does Suge serve on? He served 10. His new petition, he spoke about it. He spoke about his new petition and how a crooked prosecutor named Logo, him and I could say David Kenner, they really set Suge up. And we're talking about 9-5. 91, 95, during that era, there was a prosecutor that was racist. He said racist shit. Snoop Dogg's bodyguard, McKinley Lee Malik, or Malik whatever, Malik McKinley, he put in his book, Snoop Dogg's Bodyguard, after the death row era, Malik puts in his book, this DA was racist and I caught him saying some racist shit outside of our court case. So that's in Suge's new petition. So Suge broke down a lot about his new appeal to come home, and the strikes that he had, he wasn't supposed to have those strikes. Again, David Kenner was a former prosecutor. So I feel like, you know, once a prosecutor, always a prosecutor. Does that make sense? Once a prosecutor, always a prosecutor. I don't care if you turn to legal defense, you're still connected to that office. So part of Suge's new petition is the fact that this DA was racist from the beginning with one of my strikes. And it's horrible. Like Suge said, in Suge Knight words, if he's guilty, let him be guilty, but sentence him fairly. Don't give him illegal sentencing. Don't let him do time illegally. So this man did 10 joints. He's supposed to be home, basically. It happened in 2015. And we in 2025, he's filing a new petition. It's manslaughter. It's self-defense. It's on camera. Bone already admitted, Clay Bone admitted that he was chasing and hunting Suge down. You know, I don't like hearing stories like that. My thing is, if a ninja guilty, okay, a ninja guilty. But once the government take it upon themselves to do illegal sentencing, to do illegal punishment, they did that to me. Yo, they were supposed to sentence me consecutive. No, they were supposed to sentence me concurrent, then just sentence me consecutive. The judge said concurrent, they put consecutive. Word. So a lot of times, you know, they get away with this shit. And you might not be a Suge Knight that can get an attorney and hire, you know, some hotshot attorneys like Jasmine Mines, you know, in her law firm. You know what I'm saying? Attorney Jasmine, salute to her. You know what I'm saying? Because she helped Suge. Listen, that woman is an amazing woman. Suge's judgment, or they wanted 85 or 58 million, 85 million or 58 million, something like that, in that nature. And Attorney Jasmine joined that firm, joined the team. In less than a year, she got it down to 1.5 million. Ninja had Kenner forever, and Kenner still had that shit damn near 100 milli. Right? So, I think with attorneys that's really doing things with logic, Suge could be home. And he has the right team right now. The petition is amazing. I feel like, yo, look, David Kenner is a part of his petition, and the foul play that David Kenner was doing, and now he found out that David Kenner was a part of the assassination. It would only make sense why my attorney is trying to bury me, because my attorney is robbing me. My attorney is robbing me. My attorney is getting away with millions of dollars. Wow, you know. You know, because of Secrets of War, I'm not going to leak too much, but I will say this. Kenner is more powerful in person than he is on them videos. If that makes sense. His Kenner in person, what I mean is, we're talking about a man that got away with a lot of federal mishaps. Look what he did to Praz from the Fugees. Look what he did to this other guy that gave him, I think, there was it says Suge's petition. This guy gave Kenner like a 700, 800K, 600K deposit, and Kenner did some, 300K deposit, around that. Right? And Kenner did something like he backed out of the case, the trial at the last minute or something. Yeah, Kenner just copped out in April. Yo, unbelievable. Oh, the bag. Kenner just copped out to a charge in April of 2025. It's in Suge Knight's new petition, his habeas corpus. Right? So he explains a lot about his new petition. Again, if you're just tapping in, during my interview with Suge Knight, I've noticed that the cameraman left, the person that was working the screen behind me left. It was an empty studio. It didn't dawn on me what happened until after I left and went on my journey back home, that Suge Knight still has that power, that shock effect power that Hollywood don't want to deal with this man. They like, yo, they staying out this man's way. Right? So, and again, after the interview, they did the Hollywood shuffle on me. They said, that was great. That was Suge. Oh, that was great. That was the parade. I was like, wow. You know, Suge still got, yo, bro, Suge is in jail. I couldn't believe it. When it dawned on me, wait a minute, this man still is in jail. And people are like, in Hollywood, they like, yo. All right, let's get back to this interview real quick. Let's get back to this interview. Hold on. Let's get back to this interview.
Free counsel for people in the state, in the feds, and pay for it out of my own pocket. I'm in prison. I can't pay for it out of my own pocket. I know a great attorney.
Hold on, I don't want to get her caught. Right.
But at the same time, you want to bring people on your platform to talk bad about Tupac, who never met Tupac. I never hung out with Tupac. Well, one person met him. You bring James on there that Tupac put James on his pocket, let him drunk, crying, and upset. But you bring him on there to talk about it, and he didn't even know the man. Or all the ones who never met the man. So how could you say you found first one of Tupac's fans to go against him? That's a problem to me. That's what you call a culture vulture. That's a problem when
Howard. Tweet salute. YouTube, like, we gonna eat, nigga. You got a Suge Knight interview? YouTube, like, we won't eat. You got a Suge Knight interview? Nah, we gonna eat. We gonna eat.
you're taking racing, John.
Yeah, go roll up that smoke. We here, man. Discretion TV. New days, new season.
One of my baby mothers, which I'm not going to say the name, was wearing a wire to try to get me in trouble. I had no idea it was. But the truth is the truth. I didn't do nothing wrong, no time to get in trouble. That's why I didn't get in trouble. But when at the same time...
Oh, so what Sugar's trying to say that, Reggie, you knew play-by-play that his baby moms is wearing a wire. Remember, Veggie Jr. told Federale Pill Carson that Teresa Swan, a.k.a. Tammy Hawkins, her name is already out there, he told Federale Pill Carson, that she tried to wear a wire to meet Suge and get Suge on a wiretap saying something, and Suge ain't say nothing. Suge looked up in the sky or something. Veggie, how did you know that if you wasn't a part of that setup? You know what? Let's go to that interview. Let's go to that interview with Sugar's talking about. Sugar's really steamed about that shit. He said, how you let John Highland say my baby mom's name in a podcast interview? What if they try to shoot at her and get my daughter? Yeah, I did a topic on it. Reggie Jr. was still a cop in 9-6. He admitted to the federal. Let's see, can I find that? Hold on. Can I find that?
Only wanted Biggie to do it. All right. So Suge was hot. So Suge had went out and
put forth information that I was given from various individuals or statements by various individuals, but I never said that myself. I know for a fact that Phil Carson, as an FBI agent, never represented that. So I want to be clear on that. Okay. Right. So your time at the I'm not going to spend that much time, but I'm just curious, what was your time Compton Police Department like? How old were you, and what was that like?
yeah. So
Hold on. I'm sorry about the audio. It was a little bad. I'm trying to get to the Tammy Hawkins.
Well, we're talking different time periods, so we better get our time periods right.
Hold on. Can I get that? I forgot where it was.
We're looking at 94, 97, so like I said, that's it.
Come on, we got this. We got this.
And when did it go into bankruptcy? What year was that?
Oh, that was 2000.
You're saying, Reggie? Sorry about that.
Okay, that's on now.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go. Okay. I said, to my knowledge, no other police officers were production records. So after it all happened, we reported it. I had to strap them down and we let the Chico that we were there. And because we had also had the order where we weren't supposed to be working there. I had like I have the problem, I don't know if you know, Kevin and I have been in communication. Kevin has to apologize to the state, but Kevin Hawkins. Oh gosh, so we I just got that statement to this Reggie Wright, and now that I was want to apologize that not all of this is to go away. I done delivered it with home, but I haven't had access come to my office at regular protective services, and that's when I charged every paperwork to do. Showing them my payroll and everybody that works for me. They were mainly questioning who works for me and stuff like that. I could tell you the officer's name. I could tell you the officer's name after the case. I found that to be not true. When Bobby Baker found a white character and so his repair was done that had been shot up. Phone call for Robert Lee. Correct.
Damn, where this at? I found it. I found it. We are listening to an FBI interview with Reggie Wright Jr. and Bill Carson talking about Suge baby moms and his immunity deal.
So, conversations like that is what we believe that people believe or took credit for it. To say that it happened.
Well, let me run it back a little.
And this, here we're talk. And the fear of right now that she had.
Okay, how's the volume? I know the audio sucks. Veggie sound like a pork butt on here. I don't want to make it too loud. You ain't going to be able to hear it.
Not to be true. But just the truth that's true. It's just that simple. You got beat down, and they were supposed to retaliate like they did in their game culture world. And that's why I believe that. On the Biggie side, I don't know because of conversations with Miss Soim and the way she was terrified of Poochie and how he was always pushing up on them for money. And I think she was relieved when he finally got killed. And just from hearing her talk and the fear of right now that she had.
Drop comments below. Veggie said, if you couldn't hear it, he said Teresa Swan, Suge's baby moms, was relieved when Poochie died. She was that terrified of Poochie. He heard it in her voice. He was pillow talking Suge's baby moms.
I don't know because of conversations with Miss Soim and the way she was terrified of Poochie and how he was always pushing up on them for money. And I think she was relieved when he finally got killed. And just from hearing her talk and the fear of right now that she had of Poochie. I got a phone call from Robert Lee.
Nah. I always think Veggie was behind Poochie's shooting. Only the shooter know these details.
And the way she was terrified of Poochie and how he was always pushing up on them for money. And I think she was relieved when he finally got killed. And just from hearing her talk and the fear of right now that she had of Poochie. I got a phone call from Robert Lee, who was convinced that Poochie had something to do with it. And he kind of said, Reggie, you know. Like I knew. And he's like, you know this to be true? That he was trying to tell other people about the hunt for me, or was trying to kill me for sure. Which I didn't believe.
They just said Poochie was out to kill me for Suge. Drop comments below.
Why would Vegas key witness be hunted down by Poochie? Why would Poochie want to kill Vegas key witness? Allegedly.
She had something to do with it. And he kind of said, Reggie, you know. So, you know, like I knew. And like, you know this to be true? Or, you know, because he was trying to tell me that Poochie was out to hunt for me or was trying to kill me for sure. Which I didn't believe that part. But that's just because Roger Reed wanted to go with Suge with it because he wanted to happen and happen to Suge Knight. But you know, I wasn't going for that. So I told him I might be mad at Suge right now, but I don't want nothing bad to happen to him.
Ninja said, I might be mad at Suge right now, but I don't want anything to happen to him. Why was you mad at Suge? You only had the checks and Michelet had a copy of the rubber stamp and you was making checks and giving out 100 kickback to Kenner and 100 kickback to Jimmy Iovine, right? You bought a house with Death Row's credit, Death Row's money. Come on, why you mad, Veggie?
But you know, I wasn't going for that. So I told him I might be mad at Suge right now, but I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. And so, it's conversations like that is what we believe that people believe or took credit for it. To say that it happened, nobody knows. But Poochie, the guy, but Poochie sure took credit. He sure took credit for it.
Yeah. So I guess question is then, if you believe that Teresa Swan was a go-between or an intermediary in that she delivered money on the request of Suge to have Biggie killed, and you also believe that Greg Canning went and questioned Teresa Swan while holding over her head, you know, immunity not only for her but immunity for you. The question I still just don't understand is if that was what happened, why?
He called me Judas.
Damn, hold on. Damn, Discretion TV. Okay, where's the rest of that interview? 21 Good Salute. Come on, Discretion TV. You know we got it. It was just about to have hot bacon. Hot bacon on the stove.
I was 16. And I went down and went to cops. There was some FBI agents, ATF agents, EA agents.
Oh man, this is a low version. Oh, it's hype.
Did Suge Knight grow up in Compton?
Yes, he did.
Okay, I'm not finished telling the story. That's why I'm sitting here talking.
They cannot find it.
Case when Gene Deal talked with the FBI.
Gina Deal talked with the FBI.
No, I don't.
Hold on, I think it's around this block.
There was a cell phone analysis done, and it's one that just comes across right. Don't nitpick. But the LAPD took him off the case because he had lost credibility. No, back up a second here, because this is something I didn't know, was when that fictitious letter was written up.
Okay, I found it. Discretion TV. You're listening to Reggie Wright Jr. statement, confession to the federales. about Teresa Swan, aka Suge's baby moms. Suge said, y'all gave her an alias, Teresa Swan, but John Hyland says her government on a podcast, which isn't true, that if she did wear a wire, I wasn't aware of it, and I didn't get in trouble, so obviously I ain't do nothing. Veggie knew play-by-play about this wire.
They try to, they want that to go. It wasn't very clear about the case by them. That's what I can't answer, because I don't know. But I can also tell you that they were still trying to pursue the case. They had Teresa Swan.
Damn.
Did it? Why were detectives like Steve Katz hiding information in his desk? Why wouldn't they just prosecute the case? Even if he's dead, it will make everything go away. Even if he's dead, it will make everything go away. Wouldn't they just prosecute the case? Even if he's dead, it will make everything go away. Why are they hiding files?
That's what I can't answer, because I don't know. But I can also tell you that they were still trying to pursue the case. They had Teresa Swan there, we were shut down before. And she tried to get him to talk. And all they got on paper.
Ninja said she tried to get Suge to talk. How do you know, Veggie, if you wasn't there play-by-play?
Wouldn't they just prosecute the case? Even if he's dead, it will make everything go away. Why are they hiding files?
That's what I can't answer, because I don't know. But I can also tell you that they were still trying to pursue the case. They had Teresa Swan there, we were shut down before. And she tried to get him to talk. And all they got on tape was him pointing at the sky. Told her, why are you talking about this? The only person that knows about this. He pointed to him, her, himself, and up to the sky. And the person that did. So got that on tape. That's all he was saying.
And this letter that they showed Teresa Swan, you're clear. You know that letter was written and was fabricated by Greg Kading and another officer, correct? You're clear on that?
I'm clear on that, yes.
Okay.
They tried to show it in the room.
They showed you a fake letter?
They tried to, yes. They want that to go wrong. It wasn't very clear about the case by them. Dupree and his black, another black officer named Morgan like that. They met with me and they showed me the letter as well. But I took the polygraph.
I'm not aware of that, no. I don't know if Phil was.
No, you know, back up a second here, because this is something I didn't know, was when that fictitious letter was written up, are you saying Kading was off the case or was still on the case?
When they tried to show it to me, not the case before.
Okay.
Nasty work. Drop comments below. This is what Sugar's talking about. Reggie knew play-by-play that Suge's baby mom, alias Teresa Swan, was wearing a wire trying to jam him up. If it's true. Suge said, if it's true. Suge didn't deny not seeing her. He's saying, I'm not sure if she wore a wire or not to try to get me for the murder of Biggie. But obviously, nothing came out of it.
Question is for the LAPD, if they really and an officer, correct? You're clear on that?
I'm clear on that, yes.
Okay. They showed you a fake letter.
So that's crazy. That this fake letter and this alleged wire that Teresa Swan was wearing, they was really trying to pursue it through Veggie. Even after Kaden got kicked off the task force.
And was fabricated by Greg Kading and another officer, correct? We're clear on that. I'm clear on that, yes. Okay. They tried to show that in the room. They showed you a fake letter. They tried to, yes. They went back to the room. It wasn't Greg Kading who was off the case by then. Dupree and his black, another black officer named Morgan like that. They met with me. They showed me the letter as well. I'm not aware of that. No, I don't know if Phil was. No, you know, back up a second here, because this is something I didn't know. Was when that fictitious letter, are you saying Kading was off the case or was still on the case? When we tried to show it to me, not the case before. Okay. Why wasn't Kading on the case, and why wasn't he part of showing this letter to you? He was thinking about the case, and I'm sure he had no life because of the George Floyd situation. Because of how he got jammed up on, was it false testimony, or, but no people got released that had been prosecuted on that case, correct? On the Torres case? Correct. Okay.
Ridiculous. Veggie said, and he volunteered because Bill Carson didn't ask him about nothing. He volunteered and said that he took a polygraph test for the murderer of B.I.G. And we still asking, who gave you that from the LAPD test? From the LAPD, who gave you that polygraph test? Was it Greg Kading's crew? Was it your dad's peoples? Was it some Rampart flunkies? We were saying, take a new test without the LAPD's help. Reggie, that he volunteered taking a polygraph test for Christopher Wallace. Somebody has to sit back and say, why would they give you a polygraph test for Biggie if you had nothing to do with it? If they think you had nothing to do with it? Or why were you implicated? That's why it was a big deal. Salud, cheers. Happy it's Saturday, it's Sunday now on the East Coast. Certain areas it's after 12. Salud, God bless y'all. Someone has to say, all right, why would they give him a polygraph test if he had nothing to do with it? That's why it was a big thing to get Russell Poole's box. Even today, even in modern day times, 2025, R.J. Bond, that douche face, he finessed the dead cop's wife and got R.J. Bond's murder box. Draw comments below. He who holdeth the murder box dictates the narrative. Right? I would want to see who gave him that box. I found a document with LAPD investigating Vegas witnesses. And guess who's the officer is? Take a wild guess. Not Veggie Sr., not Veggie Jr. Guess who the officer was investigating or interviewing Vegas witnesses? Stephen Katz. Stephen Katz. I found a document. I don't know how I found this document. He interviewed Vegas witnesses. Stephen Katz, He's the LAPD cop that was in charge of the Biggie Smalls case. I found a document. I think the document was either 98. I would say 98, give or take around there. 99, I'm pushing it. Maybe it's 99. I didn't do a topic about it. I got it. A very intricate part of the Biggie and Tupac case, that this one cop was helping all these dirty cops, Stephen Katz, right? But they fucked up. Suge lived. That's how I feel. That shooting in Miami, Suge got shot 6 times. It's on camera. They seen who did it. That's Miami. That's Miami. If you want me to believe that they could catch the Cash App killer, oops, did I leak that? The Cash App killer, the CEO of Cash App, he was killed. People say, oh, that's probably his boyfriend. Oh, that's probably Ninja. The government wanted Cash App. And all of a sudden, the Cash App CEO was dead in Miami, but they found the killer, right? Suge Knight gets shot 6 times in a club. One Oak, not even no ordinary club. One Oak. Performance, all that. Entertainers, caught on camera, still no arrest. Right? 21 Gun Salute. Things to make you say, you know what? It's obvious. So if you just tap it in, 21 Gun Salute to you. Yeah, Suge spoke about Reggie Wright Jr. and Greg Hayden's theory about his baby mom's wore wire.
Allergies got you.
She wore a wire to jam him up, and you know, Suge whole thing is, okay, if she did wear wire, she didn't wear wire, why was John Hyland allowed to say her government name when you, Veggie Jr., and Greg Hayden gave her an alias? Oh, well, wait a minute. Did I get to the part where he took her for the immunity deal? Wait a minute. I'm slacking. We got to get to that part. Hold on, y'all. We got to get to that part in the Federale interview. I want to hear him say to the Federale about this immunity deal. Hold on.
I don't know what's the word. Being involved in the problems with the Torres conviction. Why would they take him off the Biggie case because of that? What was your understanding? What was your understanding? I want to get credibility. That's from the credibility of the courts. Right. Look to the investigation. I just want to make sure I understand. Katie was taken off of the case that he supposedly was being very much involved with, and in part of this fabricated letter, but the LAPD took him off the case because he had lost credibility because of what? False testimony, and they had to overturn some convictions in the Torres murder case that he was involved in. Is that correct? I don't know what you understand. I don't know what the situation was. I don't want to make assumptions. I just didn't know if you knew. That's what I was asking. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Well, I will say that the judge in the case, Judge Stephen D. Wilson, threw out close to 50 federal convictions because of what he deemed Kading's reckless disregard for the truth.
Again, if they threw out 50 cases with Greg Hayden's false narrative and never fixed Suge Knight, They never fixed the Suge Knight and Poochie theory. That's foul.
I just didn't know if you knew. That's what I was asking. Okay.
Well, I will say that the judge in the case, Judge Stephen D. Wilson, threw out close to 50 federal convictions because of what he deemed Kading's reckless disregard for the truth. So there was close to 50 federal convictions that were thrown out in federal court because of Kading's credibility.
Okay, but do that mean that what he found for this investigation to be untrue?
I wanted to stop real quick right there and remind y'all, right? Remember, that's who Whack 100 brought to Clubhouse to clear him as CS2 back. Greg Kadings. See, all these people are linked somehow, some way. Pay attention and remember, whatever Whack did and who he brought to the app to prove him has all been police officers, and they all are crooked cops. And I'm talking to the people out there who still don't believe that Whack 100 is CS2 back. You really got to wake up and smell the roses. Look at this.
Judge said Greg Kading's reckless disregard for the truth. Reckless disregard for the truth. He never fixed the Suge Knight and Poochie theory.
Well, I will say that the judge in the case, Judge Stephen D. Wilson, threw out close to 50 federal convictions because of what he deemed Kading's reckless disregard for the truth. So there was close to 50 federal convictions that were thrown out in federal court because of Kading's credibility.
Okay, but do that mean that what he found for this investigation to be untrue? Can he have looked at 16 other people that worked on the task list? No?
I don't have an answer to that question. I don't think 15 of those people wrote a book and made a movie.
Yeah, Reggie, you're smarter than this, man. Come on. Reggie, you're a smart guy. You are. I got no issues with you at all. You're a good dude. You're a big guy, and you're a smart guy. You're a former cop. You ran your own security company. Did very well with it. But come on, man. You know exactly why he got taken off the case. And you know why cops get taken off the case? Because when they do, like you said, when they lose credibility, this is nothing against Katie. This is against any cop that lies or does anything to lose credibility and then to have to vacate 50 federal convictions.
50, ninja.
My question to you guys are, there were 16 other people on that case. So now they have one, that was 16. And I went on with PD cops. There's some FBI agents, ATF agents, EDA agents.
I know, but just to clarify, a majority were LAPD officers. I think you had 4 with the sheriffs, you had 2 FBI, you had a DEA. But again, these I think are King's words, is that he was meeting the task force, which again, that's, I don't know, if you ever, and again, I don't want to go down the whole Greg Cade issue because I've never met the guy, so I don't have.
He said he had the DEA with him. Kaden had a DEA, Gina Dill, 2 lefts and a right. DEA.
LAPD officers. I think you had 4 with the sheriffs, you had 2 FBI, you had a DEA. But again, these I think are King's words, is that he was leading the task force, which again, that's, I don't know, if you ever, and again, I don't want to go down the whole Greg Kading issue because I've never met the guy, so I don't have any issues with him. I just have an issue with any cop that does some of the things that he has been accused of doing and loses credibility and gets.
That's so crooked. How Greg Kading never met Bill Carson? I thought y'all was trying to get justice for Tupac and Biggie. How the federale Bill Carson? This shit is a joke. Ninja said I never met Greg Kading. Well, wait a minute. How y'all trying to solve the case if y'all not sitting together and comparing notes or the fuck?
Have any issues with him. I just have an issue with any cop that does some of the things that he has down and goes ahead and writes a book, publishes a book himself. When, I don't know if you've spoken, Reggie, to any of the other officers on the task force.
I know Michael Red very well, Kenny Morgan very well, and they're not happy with me. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not happy with Katie at all. In fact, one of them, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been told this. Let's just say one of the members of that task force is so upset with Katie and the book and the bullshit that's in it that they're thinking of writing their own book to set the story straight. Because, like you said, it's not fair to have one bad cop, a task force, be representative of, say, the other 10 or 12 or whatever members of that task force who are doing a good, honest job and trying to get to the bottom of things. Is that fair to say?
Correct. That's what I was to bring that up with us.
Yeah.
If he's bad, okay, but then they make all the other 14 or 15 officers on the case finding to be inadequate. That's all I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, Reg, you've already said and pretty clear that the only LAPD officers that were around Right-Way Security or worked for Right-Way Security was McCauley and the other two officers, Ken Sutton and David Lowe. I'm going to just pose another question to you, and I don't know if you've ever been asked this. It's one thing if you're running a security company and obviously Suge is his own man. He's running around doing whatever he's doing, interacting with whoever he's interacting. Is there a world that exists that you're basically saying, with all of this other evidence that exists, that it's unrealistic that David Mack or Rafael Perez were involved in the murder of Biggie? Are you saying, full stop, there's no way they were involved in that murder?
Right. I mean, I think what's their motive for that role? I'm not saying they didn't do it on their own. If they fans or Biggie, like, so would like to make them out, who knows? But
now remember, David Mack has resurfaced as the guy Gaddafi was playing out. Drop comments below. David Mack has resurfaced as the guy that Gaddafi was explaining to Brent Becker. Not my light skin, but light skin. He looked like he had a bald head. He had a mustache. David Mack robbed the bank for $700 and something K. That sounds like a man that's pissed off that he ain't get paid for the Biggie and Pac, the $1 million. It's $1 million.
I'm not saying they didn't do it on their own. If they fans or Biggie, like, so would like to make them out, who knows? But I can tell you.
You're skirting the question.
No, I'm not saying Mac did it. I'm saying Mac. Gaddafi said the driver. I'm not sure if you think Gaddafi said the driver was also the shooter. I think that sometimes too, but just to clarify, Gaddafi said the driver was light-skinned.
That David Mack or Rafael Perez were involved in the murder of Biggie. Are you saying, full stop, there's no way they were involved in that murder?
Right. I mean, I think what's their motive for that role? I'm not saying they didn't do it on their own. If they fans or Biggie, like, so would like to make them out.
21 salute.
I can tell you.
You're skirting the question. You're skirting the question I'm going to ask you.
I'm going to do it. I don't think no one knows them from the full records is what I'm going to say. They're going to give up 70 officers. 70 fellow officers. They have never in life mentioned my name. That they really would know anything about Reggie Wright. Ever. Every time on all types of people. Good friends, best friends, cops, police, everything.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying, is it possible, unbeknownst to you, that this was orchestrated or happened, and that it was done without your knowledge?
But that's not what the claim been. That's not what your whole show's been about. Your whole show been saying that these people were related to me and their relationship with me. And I know how it is. I know you guys. They never mentioned my name. There's phone records. I'm sure I done put my phone records. There's my phone records with me and them.
Okay, now Reggie in this interview, he leaks a lot. This is the most underrated interview with Reggie Jr. ever. He leaks a lot. He mentions that there's an Inglewood officer that was down with his team, Right Way Security, or affiliated with Inglewood. As we know, Reggie Blaylock is from Inglewood, and he drove the alleged van that actually really chased the Impala or protected the Impala. Reggie Blaylock is from Inglewood. But the smoking gun, Suge leaked it. I think Suge leaked it, not on my channel, he leaked it on the Suge podcast. He said Snoop had an office in Inglewood. Drop comments below. Snoop Dogg also had an office in Inglewood. Snoop is from Long Beach. Why you have an office in Inglewood? The officer that chased the Impala allegedly is from Inglewood. Reggie admits it's in this interview. We're gonna hear it. I'm gonna try to find it for you guys. 21 Gun Salute.
There's no truth to any of this, but everybody want to keep linking into us.
Well, I'm not finished telling the story. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you and asking these questions. Is for that particular reason. Is this idea, that there is an overwhelming amount of evidence and an overwhelming amount of things that went on inside the LAPD to protect these two officers and to protect not letting that information be put out into the public or be put out into the criminal justice system, and you have to ask why, And I remain to be swayed either way, but I would say, hey, Reg, you run a business. It's not like you can keep your tabs on hundreds of people or 50 people or whoever was around showing at all this time. Is it seemingly possible that it happened somehow, some way, unbeknownst to you?
I mean, I'm sure that could have happened, but that's not what the accusations are, and I'm just saying that I don't believe Suge Knight will drop you for that or Baby Mac. The people try to say that they grew up in conflict of, I never even heard of Baby Mac. I don't even know what neighborhood he grew up in, or where. People that say he grew up in conflict with Suge, but never sure where. Tell us the street, get it bad, where? We don't know anything about these buckets here, but everybody's throwing it out there.
Let me ask you this, Reggie. Let me ask you this. Okay. It's a known fact that David Mack grew up in Compton. Okay? It is. Hold on, Reggie. You know that. I know that. Let's not
I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that.
Whenever Veggie tries to cover for somebody, it makes that person look guilty.
That, I know that. Let's not
I don't know that. I don't know that.
I grew up in Compton. Okay? It is. Hold on, Reggie. Reggie, let me ask you this. Okay. It's a known fact that David Mack grew up in Compton.
Okay? It is. You don't, hold on, Reggie. You know that. I know that. Let's not do this around. I don't know that. 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 Every officer ever been to run track of organ and used to do radio. Okay. Okay. So let me fill you in on a couple things then. Okay? Okay. David Mack grew up in Compton. Whether you know it or don't know it. Well, you want me to tell you the exact street number? Come on. Reggie, slow down. Did Suge Knight grow up in Compton? Yes, he did. Okay, do I know his address? You know the area. You know grew up in the mob. Yes. Compton is not a big place. It's not one. Yeah. It's not a very big place. For a city, that's not a very big place. The point I'm trying to make, Reggie, is don't try to. I want to make sure this comes across right. Don't nitpick facts and sensitive. That's not growing up. There's no good people there. There's no pictures, there's no phone records, there's nothing. And people keep trying to connect these names to us, to myself, and there's no evidence connecting us to these men. To these two men. What?
Yo, 2 hours. Where am I at in this? 2 hours and 27 minutes, 17 seconds. Yeah. So yeah, look, I'm 2 hours, 27 minutes, 17 seconds in. I'm gonna end it right there, man. I know this was a long one. It's 8 hours. I do encourage you to at least watch half of it, though. I didn't watch the other half, man. I went to sleep on it. But man, there's a lot of detail if you've been following and covering the Tupac assassination. Who was involved, the players that were involved, whatever theories you may have or had. A lot of that stuff that's in the dark is definitely coming to the light. I think I will be doing more content towards this. CS2 back. I was just on Clubhouse right now, and he was in a room. He left. I don't know if he left because I was in the room or not, or maybe it just wasn't good content. But it seems lately, every time I pop in a room that he's in, and it's a little room, and he sees who's in the room, that nigga been leaving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it appears to me. So I've been trying to catch him. I do got some content, though, by the way, of him on Clubhouse that I haven't listened to. So I'm going to get off of here now, and I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to put that out, give y'all something off of Clubhouse to listen to that has him in it. But I think what I will be doing is covering more of this type of content. I'm going to range out further, cover different stuff, so it may be stuff that you may not be into, but another market, another audience of people may be into. I'm trying to broaden the horizon when it comes to this, man. Tunnel vision ain't gonna work, because at the end of the day, Wax luck is gonna run out, and he's gonna catch himself up out of here. Then it's like, what's next? You know what I mean? So I'm about to get prepared for the what's next, because I do believe Aaron the plumber went down there and did what he said he did. What I believe, what me and my pops believe, is blessings to you too, Lenny. What we believe happened was they probably, because he a Fed, he reliable, that type of stuff ain't gonna be broadcast because he gonna make sure of it. He probably did have a warrant for his arrest, turned himself in, got released, and now he's being careful how he talks about it, because it's actually a case. Pay attention to how he's talking. I do believe that's what happened with him. I think he did. He indeed had a warrant out for his arrest, but it wasn't a big warrant, because it's just accusations right now. He came in, got released probably the same day. Reliable source. He gets all the amenities of being an informant. All the amenities, he got it. So he did that, got out. Now, he has a battle in front of him with Aaron the plumber. So whenever somebody brings it up, pay attention to his response and how he handles it. I seen he did an interview with Ack, or he did something with Ack, and Ack brought it up, but for the life of me yesterday, I could not find it. So if anybody knows or has that or seen that, send that to me on Instagram. Please send that to me, because I really think I want to do a reaction to it. But nevertheless, I'm going to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man, from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for holding it down. Man, I just had to bring some type of content today, and I thought this was great content. Because it was bam, 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 bam. It's Pay It Forward Monday, so remember, man, pay it forward today. I forgot to say that at the beginning, man. It sucks, because I like to get that off, but it is Pay It Forward Monday. Do an act of kindness for somebody because you want to, not because you have to. All right, we up out of here, man. Catch y'all on the next one. Let's go. Suffering succotash. Lou from the Lou. Salute my guy. Salute my guy. Yeah. Yeah, man, I had to go back to the dentist Friday. I had a infection in the top of my gums, so they had to split me open. But I feel better than I did when I had the infection, though. I just gotta heal. But they had to cut me open, man. But I definitely feel better since he got that infection out. Now it's just the incision at the top fucks with me, but I'm all right.